Clyde One's Super Scoreboard podcast with Lookers Jaguar, the new name for Taggarts. The same friendly faces and great service with a new name above the door. The winning team all season long. This is Clyde One Super Scoreboard.
What a game at Pittodrie. It finished Aberdeen 0, Celtic 1. When I say what a game, clearly not loads of incident. You just wondered if it was going to be one of those days. Celtic had a ridiculous amount of the ball, a ridiculous amount of shots on goal, and you just thought maybe they would drop points, scoring DL. But then you remember, this is what this Celtic team does. They find ways, and I don't think anyone could grudge them of it, because yes, they left it late, but Aberdeen were never going to do enough to win this game, were they?
No, Aberdeen set their game plan out for a point. If they got anything else, it would have been a terrific bonus for them, Gordon. They just worked very hard. They had a good shape about them, very disciplined, tried to frustrate Celtic, and at times that plan was working. Of course it was. Then you look at Kyogo with that sitter, that miss that he should put Celtic in front, and you're thinking, is it going to be one of the days where Celtic just keep going and going and going and can't find the back of net? You're looking for someone to step up. None better than the captain, just back from injury, takes on his favourite left foot, and he absolutely buries it in the far corner.
It's an incredible mentality that they've got, because I've been in that position before, and it does get draining when you think it's not your day. But this team seems in a different place. It seems like they've got an actual belief that they know it doesn't matter if it'll take to 91, 92 minutes, that they know they're going to score. And they've got so many players that they can actually rely on. So if it wasn't McGregor today, or should I say it was McGregor today, but you look at St Johnstone away, where it's Giacomakis. You look at Tynecastle away, where Greg Taylor comes on and pops up and gets a goal. And it's been the same all throughout the season. Incredible, belief that they can get the job done, and they quite often do.
You know what they're brilliant at, Mark? And I think a lot of credit goes down to the manager, and he has got at his disposal terrific players in the squad. His substitutions always make an impact. That's the one thing I'll always say about Ange Postecoglou. When he puts substitutions on, I thought Abada come on in the second half and livened it up and put some terrific balls in there. Then you get Forrest comes on. He doesn't do a lot, but when they needed that goal, he just does that reverse pass. He sees McGregor, and McGregor obliges.
Right, it's an incredibly busy day for us, so bear with me, because we'll go round the grounds for the remaining fixtures that we've got this afternoon very soon. But we'll get a quick update on the Cash for Kids Sports Auction, sponsored by Central Car Auctions, because there are 4 prizes that you've only got 25 minutes left on. So Cassie, if you could give us an update on those, please.
I shall have a slightly OD'd on Haribo up here, I can't lie. We've got a lot of sweets keeping us going here. Right, let's start with lot number 5, Scotland v Italy at Murrayfield Stadium, donated by Corinthian Sport. So this one is to watch Scotland take on Italy, and is what is sure to be an unmissable match day experience. Corinthian Sports pleased to offer 2 places in the Pegasus Lounge, luxury suite, basically all the works as well. And you get to be in the West Stand of Murrayfield, the home of Scottish rugby. And at the moment it looks like Jacqueline Tierney is winning with £600 on that one. Lot number 6, we've got Scottish Football Association. The SFA have donated a Scotland shirt signed by the squad, including likes of Andy Robertson and John McGinn. And currently John McCormick from Saltire Plumbing Supplies has donated £200 for that. Lot number 7, Hospitality for 2 at Motherwell FC with the... Yes? We're not... No, we've just had a... Oh, we're going live here, have we?
Hospitality Motherwell is Frank McDaniel.
Frank McDaniel, there you go. He's just come in at £500 for lot number 7. That's Hospitality for 2 at Motherwell FC, with the exception of cup ties, donated by Motherwell FC. And lastly in this lot, we've got Family Platinum season ticket for the Sirens 2023 Super League, donated by the Strathclyde Sirens, and that is currently sitting at £100 from the lovely James McMahon from Code Red Safety Solutions.
Brilliant, keep them coming then. You've only got 25 minutes left on those 4. The Scotland, Italy, Murrayfield Hospitality, the Scotland signed shirt, the Hospitality for 2 at Motherwell, and the Family Platinum season tickets for the Sirens netball. You've got until 3 o'clock. 0141565 2468. Now, can I just say, I'm glad we've got a bid, but let me just remind you very quickly: family platinum season ticket for the Sirens netball. This is all about family fun. 2 adults, 2 kids, best seats in the house, 9 games, Emirates Arena, hospitality at 2 of those games, and various other benefits. It's sitting at £100, like, for 2 adults and 2 kids for 9 games, and then hospitality at 2. We need to get that much higher. Thank you to James McMahon for the bid, but that we're miles off there, and it's for the children. Come on, 01415652468. And I'm sorry if you think that's a bit negative, but it's just trying to get more for the children out there that need it. Let's go round some of our other grounds, because some of them have survived the weather. Tynecastle for Hearts Kilmarnock with Fraser Wishart.
Yeah, it has. It survived the weather. Undersoil heating's done its job. Gordon pitch looking decent, not too windy, a bit cold, but the supporters are beginning to come in, and I think they're just looking forward to the restart like the rest of us after the 5-week break, as you guys were talking about earlier in the show. It's been a unique season. The players almost having a second close season, but it's been a really different season in general all round for Hearts and Robbie Neilson. Of course, after the success of last year, had 8 European games to factor in this mid-season break, and unfortunately for him, a host of injuries so far, including at one point all centre-backs. He had 4 full-backs in their back 4 for a number of games in the early part of the season. But the break's given them the chance to get these players to rehab and back to fitness, and guys like Robbie Neilson, will be delighted to have guys like Halkett and Kingsley back at the heart of the defence. They were key to the success last season, but still players missing long term. Guys like Boyce and Haring has received concussion, Gary Mackay-Steven broken foot, Humphreys has got a knee injury but will be back in the next few weeks. Still a strong squad to choose from. Of course, the Australian players back from their excellent World Cup run. Kai Rowles misses the game, he's suspended because of the red card versus Livy in the last game before the break. If Devlin starts, he's got Messi's jersey in his pocket, but he's midfield today, and Atkinson's on the bench. And I expect Hearts to take the game to Kelly. The Denny McKenna side obviously will be hard to beat, and they'll try and hit them on the break with the pace they've got in wide areas, and probably where we all expected them to be. Kilmarnock near the bottom of the table, and their target for us this season really will be to stay up. And if they're on their games next 2 weeks into Jan, Cup semi-final in January as well, they've got to pick up their form very quickly. Their experienced strikers Doidge, Shaw, Lafferty not quite firing, so it's been young winger Dan Armstrong that's been the main threat. He's a top scorer, and many of his goals have actually been winners or grabbed a point for Kilmarnock, so Hearts will need to watch him very closely today. For Hearts, they line up, it looks like a 4-2-3-1 formation. Craig Gordon, the skipper, is in goals. Michael Smith, Craig Halkett, Stephen Kingsley and Alec Cochrane at the back. In midfield, Cammy Devlin and Andy Halliday, with Josh Giannelli, Robert Snodgrass and Barry Mackay behind the lone striker Lawrence Shanklin. Their substitutes Xander Clark, George Grant, Orteses Kira Motors-Glue, Nathaniel Atkinson, Alan Forrest, Lewis Nielsen, Toby Sibic, Ewan Henderson and Connor Smith. It looks like a 3-4-3 for Kilmarnock. Sam Walker's in goals, Lewis Mayo, Ash Taylor and Joe Wright at the back. Across the middle, Dan Armstrong, Alan Power, Liam Donnelly and Kerr McInroy, with Liam Polworth and Rory McKenzie in attacking positions behind the lone striker Innes Cameron. Their subs Zach Hemming, Blair Alston, Jordan Jones, Fraser Murray, Scott Robinson, Ryan Alibiosu, Christian Doidge, Bobby Wales and Benjamin Crusani. And the referee today is Willie Collum, and the VAR referee, the experienced Don Robertson.
Looking forward to that. The only other Premiership game we have for you, because remember, Livingston Dundee United's off, so is Motherwell St Mirren. Ross County v St Johnstone, all the way to the Highlands is Gabriel.
Yeah, Gordon, of all the games in the league, this is the one that had to be on up in Dingwall. Driving across the country through snowstorms to get here, but no, in all seriousness, credit to the Staggies, because this pitch is completely clear and good to go. It's actually quite a nice sunny day, just a bit crisp up in the north. It should be a good game as well. Two teams who are hoping to have a very positive second half of the season after finishing off strongly before the shutdown. Now, Canty struggled early on in the campaign, just like they did 12 months ago, but they finished with 2 wins in their last 3, and Malcolm Mackay hopes his team can repeat their top half finish. A win today would help them get on their way. Here's the 11 he has picked for the 3 p.m. kickoff. He's got Ross Laidlaw in goal. It's a back 4: Ben Johnson, Jack Baldwin, Alex Iacovitti and George Harman. Victor Loturi and Kazim Olegbeg just sit in front of them, with a 3 of Jan Danda, Jordan Tilson and Ryan Edwards behind the sole striker, which is Jordan White. The substitutes: Akio, Eastwood, Hiwula, Payton, Randall, Samuel, Sims, Smith and Watson. And what about the Saints then? Well, they're up into the top half. They're one of the teams who might not have actually wanted the break to come a month ago. That's because they were unbeaten in their last 5, winning 3 of them, including that excellent victory against Rangers that eventually proved fatal to Giovanni van Bronckhorst. Their manager, Callum Davidson, goes for a 3-4-3 formation that's been so successful over the last few years. Elliot Parish is in goal, back three of James Brown, Liam Gordon and Andy Considine. Trey Wright and Adam Montgomery are the wing-backs, with Daniel Phillips and Graham Carey in the middle. David Wotherspoon, fresh from the World Cup, will be behind Nicky Clark and Stevie May. The substitutes are Wills, Gallagher, Kucheravi, McLennan, O'Halloran, Bear, Crawford, Murphy and McPherson. It's 6th versus 10th. It's County against the Saints. The referee is Graham Granger, and kick-off is just 20 minutes away.
What a journey at this time of year. Even worse if you get a puncture in the morning of the game. Gabriel as well. That's why you've just arrived. Everything okay?
Yep, it was... It wasn't the start you wanted, Gordon, when you've got that 3.5 hour journey through the ice and the snow and you go out and see a completely flat tyre. Thankfully, the boys at the Byers Road Garage managed to turn it around in an hour, back on the road, and here, no problems, good to go.
Honestly, what a trooper you are. That was Gabriel in the Highlands. A little bit of reshuffling in the pack today because of different games being off. Roger Hannah is now at Partick Thistle against Ayr United. Roger?
Yeah, and it's Firhill for Chills this afternoon. Gordon, it has beaten the big freeze. We're delighted to say, and the pitch is in a surprisingly good state for this game this afternoon. And I'm quite sure some Partick Thistle fans would tell you the director's box is in a better state too after enormous off-field changes here at Firhill in the last few days. On the pitch, they haven't played since that 1-1 draw at Cove a couple of weeks ago when goalkeeper Jamie Snedden went up and scored deep into added time to rescue a point. And it was an important point for Ian McCall because it means Thistle are 5 points off the playoffs. They're just 8 behind the leaders, Ayr United, and a win today because of those postponements would take them to within 2 points of Morton in 4th. Ian McCall makes 2 changes from that draw up at Cove. Stuart Bannigan and Aidan Fitzpatrick come in for Lee Hodgson and Cammy Smith. City go with a goal-scoring goalie, Jamie Snedden, between the sticks. It's a back four: Jack McMillan, Darren Brownlee, Aaron Muirhead and Harry Milne. Midfield: Cole McKinnon, Stuart Bannigan and Kel Turner. And up top it's Stephen Lawless, Brian Graham and Aidan Fitzpatrick. And the bench: Mitchell, Holt and Dowds, Smith, Weston and Mullen, Stanway, Lyon and McKenzie. Now a win for Ayr though. They go 4 points clear of Dundee, ahead of the visit of the Dark Blues to Somerset Park on Friday night. It would guarantee Lee Bullen's men top spot for Christmas. They did beat the Jags 4-2 at Somerset Park back in October, but they've not won here at Firhill for over 3 years. Only one change from the 2-0 win against Wraith a fortnight ago. Logan Chalmers dropping to the bench somewhat surprisingly, and that means a start for Sam Ashford. Bullen still without 3 of his first choice back four: Jordan Houston, Alec Kirk and Frankie Musonda all missing out, and that means a second start for homegrown fullback Finn Ekrapoint. Here go with Charlie Albinson in goal, back four: Finn Ekrapoint, Nick McAllister, Sean McGinty and Paddy Redding. Across the middle, Josh Mullen, Ben Dempsey, Andy Murdoch and Sam Ashford. And up top, Mark McKenzie with the Championship's top scorer Dippo Akinyemi. On the bench, McAdams, Smith, Young, Billum, Chalmers, Bangala, Watrett and Tomlinson. The referee is David Monroe. I'm expecting a decent festive crowd with so many games off. There is even a man, Gordon, sitting in front of me in a Rangers hat. It just reminded me of Daz at Fir Park.
Listen, he takes those colours everywhere. Thank you very much, Roger Hannah. Partick Thistle against Ayr United. So that's the team news from our featured games. A quick reminder then of what you need to do on the Cash for Kids sports auction this hour. You've only got till 3 o'clock, 17 minutes to be precise, on the Scotland v Italy Rugby Murrayfield hospitality package for 2, sitting at £600. Thank you, Jacqueline Tierney. It's brilliant hospitality, that. So maybe we could squeeze a few more pounds there. The Scottish Football Association, the signed Scotland shirt, that's gone up to 500. Karen Poynton. But again, you know, John McGinn, Kieran Tierney, Andy Robertson, all the big hitters will have signed it. And think of it as some sort of insurance. We're already in the playoffs for the next Euros. If that squad goes on and makes the Euros, that shirt will be worth a fair bit more. So let's see if we can keep the bids coming in. Gordon Dalziel's £2.50 has been outbid. Frank McDaniel leads the way for the Motherwell hospitality for 2 on £500. And we're making some headway, but this is still a scandalous bargain that Paul Kelly is getting. Family of 4 platinum season tickets for the Sirens Netball Super League next season, £250. Good time to get your bids in, actually, because we'll take a break. We'll go back around the grounds, and I need to see at least a few of them going up. 01415655246. And now just a quick note from our podcast sponsor Lookers, the new name for Taggarts across Glasgow and the West. We are proud to announce that Lookers is now the new name for Taggarts. Taggarts has been part of the Lookers Motor Group for nearly 20 years, and over time, being part of one of the largest multi-franchise dealer groups in the UK and Ireland, has helped Taggarts to provide a great customer experience, value and choice to their customers across Scotland, and that's something that will never change. And now they've decided, though, to change the name above the door to move forward as one. You'll find the same great service and friendly faces you've come to know at their Jaguar, Land Rover and Volvo showrooms, working hard to give the best experience every time. You can now browse and shop online for your next car at lookers.co.uk and choose from thousands of used cars in stock with home delivery available. You can also discover the latest new car offers, book a test drive and book your next service online. Although the name has changed above the door, everything else is staying exactly the same, and you can still expect the same great service and friendly faces when you visit in store. Lookers, the new name for Taggarts across Glasgow and the West. 8.
The fastest goals, the experts' opinions. This is Clyde One Super Scoreboard.
Mark Wilson, Gordon Dalziel, Hugh Keevins in the studio. Celtic have beaten Aberdeen 1-0 at Pittodrie. We've got 3 o'clock games and it's our Cash for Kids sports auction. There is so much going on. Let me very quickly update you because you've only got 10 minutes left on this, right? On these 4 prizes, you've only got till 3 o'clock. I'm going to start with the Scotland shirt because there's movement on one of the others. So it's a signed Scotland shirt, but all the big hitters will be on there. It's a really good group at the moment. A lot of likeable players, a lot of big names doing their business down south and in our own league. And that's sitting at £500 from Karen Point. And thank you so much to Karen. I do think in the next 10 minutes we can probably do a bit better there, bearing in mind it is for the children that need our help. Hospitality for 2 at Motherwell sitting at £500. Frank McDaniel. We're up to 300 for the family platinum season ticket for the Sirens netball. 300's a great amount. Thank you to James McMahon and his daughter. But this does cover 9 games, hospitality at 2 of them, and a family of 4. So I do think we can go a good bit higher than the £300. Great family fun there. And Scotland v Italy at Murrayfield Stadium, hospitality. Thomas Barkley, I think, sitting at £800. Very good. Thank you very much, Thomas. We can't let a rugby prize have the highest amount though on this show. I'm going to try and do something to start a war of bidding here. Let's see if we can get the other bids a little bit higher. You've got until the end of this hour, so 10 minutes. 0141 565 2468. Let's go back to Tynecastle though. Hearts Kilmarnock. Has there been a late change in the warm-up, Fraser?
Yeah, I think there might have to be. Gordon, big Innes Cameron, a young striker who's done really well this year. In fact, scored a winner here in the League Cup not that long ago. He limped off in real discomfort. He got injured doing something. I didn't see the incident, but he was helped off with his arms round 2 staff. He's a big lad, so the staff were kind of leaning on the staff, but he looked in real discomfort. It took a long time to get from the far side of the park to the tunnel area, so I'm now 99% certain he won't be starting the game. And obviously someone like Christian Doidge is on the bench. He's the obvious one. Kyle Lafferty's got this long suspension. The other striker, Ollie Shaw's not in the squad today, so a real blow because he's got real potential. Cameron, big strong lad, he's powerful, holds the ball up well. As I said earlier, he scored that winner recently, so he'd have been looking forward to this game. So a blow just 15 minutes before kick-off it happened.
On one hand, I don't want to make jokes because the poor guys got injured, but on the other hand I was going to say fans of still game Mark Wilson don't want to see Big Innes in discomfort because you know what comes next. But we do wish him a speedy recovery. Forget all that, Fraser Wisher. The most important update from you, you've neglected it. You've not even given us an update on it yet. How is Halliday's thatch looking? He spent the break away in Turkey getting the hair transplant. Is it sprouting?
Well, I have to say I didn't actually know that, but I looked at him and I thought, you've been away somewhere on your holidays, son. He's looking well. With my hairline I can't talk too much. I'm a wee bit jealous, but it's beginning to sprout well. And Robbie Nielsen's also been cropped as well, so he's got a short haircut. So maybe they've been over in Turkey together. But yes, it's sprouting nicely, nicely shaped at the front. There's all these hair.
Oh, that's it. It's the lines. But you want to see it? What a hairline he's got now. It's been planted. Because the thing is, Fraser, he went into the break in great goal scoring form with headers as well. So if you see him ducking out of any today, you know why.
They might not skate off that wee baldy patch he had. He might not go as quickly into the goals now, so he might not be as potent in the air.
We will find out.
It's a bad day when he's slagging people about a baldy patch.
He acknowledged that himself. Come on.
He'd need to go to Turkey for a month.
Dazzler, I have to say to you, as men of a certain vintage brought up in a time when Jock Stein, Willie Waddle were football managers at Celtic Rangers, the idea of a player back then having a hair weave, Jock Stein and Willie Waddle would have the mind boggles at what they'd have done.
Pulled off.
No, but it's not a wig. It's not a wig, it's a transplant.
But you weren't allowed any form of vanity then.
How naive have you got
But you
to
can't
be?
pull it off, as you just said. There's nothing to pull off, it's your hair.
Stick some hair on there.
It gets taken from the back of your head
Go with
and
nature,
planted in.
like Mean
For instance,
Shug.
right, if you needed it in the 80s, they would cut your tash off and then plant it
Give
in
you
the
a
front of
perm.
your hair. That's the way to think about it.
Your moustache would give you a feather cut.
Ross County, St Johnstone, both, for some people, Gabriel, were sort of in there in the relegation battle a few weeks ago. But you look at the run St Johnstone were on before the break, you wonder if it came at a bad time for them.
Yeah, I was at the game when they beat Rangers just before the break as well, and Callum Davidson was saying then that he just wanted to keep going because he felt there was momentum in their side. I think they drew their 2 matches before the break, but they are up into the top half, and after a sticky campaign last season, I really think that they can push on, and that's what he'll be believing, that they can push on, go again and really try and perhaps even get one of those European places. Of course, it's games like these that you need to get points in, and they will be boosted as well by David Waterspoon coming back from that World Cup with Canada. He only played a little bit, but it had given him a huge boost coming back into the Perth side.
Yeah, looking forward to that one. What about our featured championship game? The lower league cards have been decimated. For instance, there was only one game on in League 2 about an hour ago, and even that's gone, Anne and Bonnyrigg Rose. So nothing at all in League 2, only 2 games in League 1 and only 2 in the Championship as well. So Roger Hanna is at one of them. Roger, you'll be privileged, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm very much looking forward to it as well. The sun is beating down on Firhill. The ground, as I said earlier on, looked terrific, and we're looking forward to a really good game. Ayr have been the pace setters this season. They could go 4 points clear with a win this afternoon, but it's arguably a bigger game for Partick Thistle. There's been this boardroom change off the field. I think the last home game here, there were supporters protesting outside the ground. They didn't even come in to watch the game, Gordon. That is now behind them. There's a decent Thistle support in today, and they know they can't really afford too many slip-ups if they're to catch the top 4 and get back into playoff contention or even title contention, which is really Ian McCall's ambition this season.
Brilliant, that's the scene set then for our 3 featured games. We'll look back on events at Pittodrie, but this is your 5-minute warning on the following 3 prizes, and I think there might be a wee bidding war going on in some of these. Take that Scotland top, for instance. It's signed, and all of a sudden Anthony Gallagher from AMG Couriers, it was at 500, he's gone in 550. So now we find out if anyone wants a nibble at 650. I think we can nudge that up. You've got 5 minutes for that signed Scotland top, and hospitality for 2 at Motherwell. That's not moved in a while now. Frank McDaniel's been in there on £500. Could we even squeeze another £50 out of that? 50, 100, sneak in last minute, late run to the back post. Still at 300 from James McMahon and his daughter for the family platinum season tickets to the Sirens netball. I am like a broken record on this, but I make no apologies. 300 quid's great. It's 9 games, hospitality at 2 of them, and it's for 4 people. Worth a lot of money. Come on, get your bids in. You've now got 4 minutes left because I can't shut up. And Scotland v Italy at Murrayfield, brilliant hospitality there for 2. Thomas Barkley winning on 800. But if any of those 4 tickle your fancy, you've only got a couple of minutes left. 01415652468.
Scottish football's league leader. This is Clyde One Super Scoreboard.
As always, on Cash for Kids Sports Auction Day, sponsored by Central Car Auctions, we are spinning a number of plates. So before we do anything, let's get the football up and running, because we tried but we can't get the kickoffs delayed. So is that time of the afternoon already?
Clyde One Super Scoreboard Goal Flashes with Clyde Built Home Improvements. Trade accounts available now. Call them today.
Right, we've only got 3 featured games. You all correctly predicted Celtic would win. I don't think you got the score lines correct. So what about the 3 remaining featured matches we have this afternoon, please, Hugh?
Right, I will go for Partick Thistle to draw with Ayr United, Ross County to beat St Johnstone, and Hearts to beat Kilmarnock.
I'm going to go for Ayr United away win, St Johnstone away win at Ross County, and Hearts will beat Kelly at Tynecastle.
3 homes.
Oh, great, thanks for that detailed input. We'll see how that pans out throughout the course of the afternoon. Like I mentioned though, we've got something that in many ways is even more important than the football, and you won't hear me say that very often, but once a year we do our Cash for Kids Sports Auction, and we've just finished our 2 until 3 o'clock lots. 4 prizes were up for grabs. How did they finish, Cassie?
Right, so lot number 5, Scotland v Italy at Murrayfield. We had, oh, sorry for that. that terrible language you may have heard in the background there from one of the girls from Cash for Kids, just because a bid came in last minute. David Gordon from Scott Jet and Govan came in at £1,000. Also, Lot 6 Scottish Football Association signed shirt donated by the Scottish FA from Stuart Montgomery, who's come in at £800 from William Montgomery and Sons. Thank you very much for that. Lot number 7 Hospitality for 2 at Motherwell FC, with the exception of cup ties, donated by Motherwell FC. Your team, Gordon, Frank McDaniel, donated £500 for that. Thank you very much. Family Platinum season ticket for the Sirens 2023 Super League, donated by Strathclyde Sirens. Stuart Herron from Electricity Asset Services at £450.
Brilliant, thank you so much. Really generous stuff there. It is really appreciated by me and by us in here, but it'll be much more appreciated by those children that you'll be helping in our local area who really need your help. Unfortunately, they need it every year, and everything that's going on in the world at the moment, they need your help even more. So thank you very, very much. A couple of things to run by you. You can check all this stuff online and on Twitter at Clyde SSB. We do have our all-day prizes. Now, they've not moved a lot in a while. Now, I've been neglecting them, so that's maybe why, but these need to move. They need to start going up. All roads lead to Hampden. That is an outstanding football prize, a feast of football. We're talking hospitality for 2 at the League Cup final at Hampden. Amazing seats, amazing hospitality, and then you get to do it all again at the Scottish Cup final. Think how good a prize that is. I mentioned it earlier on. You could either witness a treble for your team if you're Celtic or Rangers fans. If it's Rangers, it could be a cup double. It might be Michael Beale's first pieces of silverware. A Celtic, the Ange Postecoglou winning run continuing. If you're a fan of another team, imagine your team surprised all the odds, got to the cup finals, won them, and you're there with the best seats in the house and hospitality. You do not let this slip by. It's sitting at 2,750. I do think it's probably worth even more when you factor in the fact that we're just looking for a bit more for charity as well. So 01415652468, and the same number. I absolutely love this prize. As soon as I heard about it during the week, I thought this is top drawer, this will be popular. You get to go down to Birmingham, you get put up in a 4-star hotel, which is very nice by all accounts. 2 nights, by the way, 2 VIP box tickets to an Aston Villa game of your choice between now and the end of the season. Take a look at the fixtures, there'll be some big hitters in there. You then get looked after, drinks and food. You meet John McGinn after the game and he gives you a signed shirt. It's an unbelievable prize, that. So those two, the Hampden and the John McGinn, they run all day. They'll run till the end of the show. And for me, as good as these are, the best one has to be the Mercedes-Benz, because it's a brand new Mercedes-Benz A-Class and everyone can get involved every year. It used to annoy me. I used to listen to the Cash for Kids sports auction and it was great because we raised money, but not everyone can bid hundreds and thousands of pounds. We get that. So that's why we started these types of prizes, kindly donated by Arnold Clark. All you need to do is text CAR to 84901. That donates a £5 to Cash for Kids. So you're just giving a £5 to Cash for Kids plus the cost of your standard network rate message, and then you might win the Merc. It's as far as a win-win goes, what a Christmas that could be if you got your hands on that. So you text CAR to 84901. I mean, even you don't even drive, and that must sound good to you.
I can just see Lady Keevins behind the wheel of the Merc as I sit in the passenger seat waving to passers by.
Heated seat on at this time of year.
Oh, it's lovely.
A heated seat.
Heated seats.
Oh yeah, everything.
64 ambient lighting settings.
Amazing.
Mark in the back winking out to everybody.
Can I just say how nervous that sentence made me?
Let me been a crossover there. Let me just say it made me very nervous when I was saying it.
Don't try that again.
Right, okay. Nodding.
Mark in the back winking, and there was because you did mess up. You said something about a bank.
Yes, the back was
never do that again. Okay.
Okay, I was in total control, but it did make me a bit nervous.
Right, listen. Those were the 3 o'clock. Those were the all-day prizes. The next lot that I'm about to read out to you are the 3 o'clock to 4 o'clock prizes. Right, so you've only got an hour, less than that now. 55 minutes. You've got to 4 o'clock. Some of these are fantastic, and I have got a funny feeling, Hugh Keevins, this one is going to be outrageously popular for a number of reasons, because it's got to be a one of a kind. We can't have done this before. And think about how popular this guy is. Feast your ears again on this. You ready? an Ange Postecoglou signed jumper. Okay, but he presents it to you himself. Now, this guy can do no wrong in the eyes of the Celtic fans. The jumper has become a bit of a cult phenomenon. So he's going to sign a jumper. You win the jumper, but you get to go up to Lennoxtown or Celtic Park, and he gives you. You meet the man that's been your hero since the day he arrived, and will even, Celtic I should say, will even throw in a signed ball by the squad as well. Now, this is a squad that won a double last season. This is a squad that is littered with popular players. It is a squad that may well go on and win even more trophies this season. So you're getting your signed ball and a signed Ange Postecoglou jumper. So think, how much is that worth? And then the money can't buy bit. The signed jumper gets handed over by the man himself.
Remember the Celtic Motherwell game, the final league game of last season, at the end of which Celtic were officially the league champions. Ange Postecoglou addressed the crowd and said, "You have embraced me. You have embraced my family. You have embraced this jumper." Well, this jumper could be yours. And to receive it from Ange Postecoglou himself, not only is it the fashion item of 2022, but it would give you the memory of 2022. Priceless.
That is going to be scandalously popular amongst the Celtic fans. So get your bids in. What a prize that is. Thank you to Celtic for donating it. Now, the good thing is, Rangers fans, you look at that league table now. I know things aren't looking great, but all of a sudden there's a real air of positivity because everyone seems to be enjoying the new manager, his appointment and what he's got to say, and maybe a little bit of optimism in the air. So we're giving you a signed Rangers shirt as well, donated by Rangers. It's signed by new manager Michael Beale, so it's bang up to date, this, and the Rangers squad. I talked about that sort of emotional insurance earlier on. Imagine this Rangers squad either somehow overturns a 9-point deficit, or goes and win both cups, or does something successful between now and the end of the season. You'll have your signed shirt in nice and early, and it'll be against all the odds, and that will be a proper collector's item. So get your bids in for that. Lot number 10 is a signed Rangers shirt by Michael Beale and the Rangers squad. I know there are a lot of Rangers fans out there who would be delighted to dig deep and win that, especially when it's for charity as well. So brilliant prize there for any Rangers fans who are listening. And I love this because you know there'll be an air of sophistication. You're going for hospitality for two people at Partick Thistle. You're in the West End, Hugh.
Oh, yes.
It's different, isn't it? It hits differently.
I've had hospitality at Firhill.
They're good.
Very lovely.
I knew it would be. I really knew it would be. So it's a home fixture this season for two people. Pre-match meal, inclusive bar, entertainment throughout the day, the big game, half-time snacks, post-match, man of the match presentation. And here's the real winner: a meet and greet with Kingsley, the mascot that you can never remember his name when we ask you on the quizzes.
Yeah, that's a great prize, that as well.
It's brilliant because if you're a Partick Thistle fan out there, that is a wonderful prize. And see, even if you're not, here's the way I think you can spin this one. Maybe you're out there in Glasgow in the West, you're trying to get your wee one, a family member, into football. You're just not sure about going into the red hot atmosphere of Celtic Park or Ibrox. Hospitality at Partick Thistle, what a way that would be to introduce someone to football. So it's hospitality at a home game for two people, all the bells and whistles that comes with hospitality, and you even meet and greet Kingsley as well. So that's lot 11. Get your bids in for that Partick Thistle prize. And lot number 12, this guy is a Northern Ireland legend, Stephen Davis. How many caps has he got? Remind me. It's well into the hundreds. He is
127, I think.
He's a record breaker for an international player in this part of the world. It is signed by Stephen Davis as well. The Northern Ireland shirt donated by Jimmy Nicholl, Gordon DL.
Jimmy
Nicholl,
who you know well. So there we are, a signed Stephen Davis shirt. Maybe there's someone listening from Northern Ireland. Maybe you've come over, maybe you're a big Rangers fan or a Stephen Davis fan. Either way, that's got to go for a few quid. The guy's got a ridiculous amount of caps. Phones are red hot for these already, so do not miss out. The Ange Postecoglou signed jumper, signed Celtic ball, and personal presentation from the man himself. The signed Rangers shirt, the hospitality for two at Partick Thistle, and the signed Stephen Davis shirt, all live until 4 o'clock. 0141 565 2468. We've got one of these in our featured championship game.
flashes with Clyde Built Home Improvements.
And it's at Partick Thistle where you could be getting hospitality, but it's a goal for Ayr United. Roger Hannah. There's a rude sentence that I wanted to insert here, but I won't do it in a family show, just to try and illustrate how happy, how joyous, how relieved Roger Hannah is, because his favourite player, the man that he's got the man crush on, has gone and scored here. It's Dipo Akinyemi. Roger Hannah has got posters of this guy on his wall. A terrific goal on his own. He's lashed it high into the net after a solo run, and it's Partick Thistle 0, Ayr 1.
Well, long way to go for Ian McCall's team. I'm delighted that the fans are inside the ground today, not outside. I'm glad there's at least a chance of compromise. There's a new chairman at the club, and they can move forward and put what's happened in the past. But Ayr United are the standout team in that division so far this season, and Lee Bullen has done a terrific job.
Great start there. The phones are red hot for his auction night. Hoggy Boy has to go and ruin it. He says Maryhill's not the West End, Gordon. Look, we're trying to maybe embellishing a wee bit, Hoggy Boy, to raise money for children. What's wrong with you? Who wants to be a pedant when you're trying to raise money for children, for goodness sake?
I went for hospitality at Firhill, and I took my grandson Archie, and he didn't come back after going to the little boys' room, and I was in a panic, and I went to look for him, and I said that my grandson, he said, oh, he's with Kenny Arthur, he's taking penalty kicks on the park. He went from the lunch table to the park taking penalty kicks at the goalkeeping coach Kenny Arthur. That's what hospitality's like at Partick Thistle.
It's the Northwest End, Hoggy Boy. Come on,
it's the West End,
raise money for the children, for goodness sake. Have a word. Anyway, Partick Thistle 0, Ayr 1, wherever it is. A bit of an open game at Tynecastle. Mackenzie's a flick saved by Craig Gordon. Halliday's involved. Shot saved by Walker. Low cross flashed across as well. And by the way, we've ridiculed it as being the most pointless game in the world of football.
It's the best game.
There's now, after 8 minutes, the third place playoff at the World Cup was Croatia 1, Morocco 1. It's been brilliant.
It's the best game so far, and the reason being no pressure on either team. They're just going there and attacking football, enjoying it. I know that everybody says it's the worst game ever, but these players are there now. They've got to go and try and win third place for their country. Open football, that's what the audience wants to see.
Is Juranovic playing?
No, Juranovic.
Well, he must be on his way to Roma then.
I think
is that the latest bid, is it?
Roma. Yeah. Jose Mourinho.
Oh, I'd love to have played under Jose.
The there's a few things that would get in the way of that, I think. No offence. Guardiola from. Why are you looking confused?
Like what?
Ability.
Well,
absolutely. Like what? When I played with big clubs, like what? So you're saying that Mourinho couldn't have managed Man City when I played there?
I just think
I'm asking you a question.
I'm about to answer.
Yeah.
I think the thought of him going to the yellow pages as it would have been in that day, licking his finger, flicking through, getting to Wraith Rovers Football Club and going, I'm going to sign a guy from. I just think it's slim.
I went from Rangers to
this
Man
guy
City.
Operated with Ronaldo, Zlatan. I know your ego is the same size as those two.
No, not at all. You're missing my point.
I think Gordon's spot on. Yeah.
I went to see Mourinho's house when I was
there
in
you go,
Italy.
There you go.
Did he mention me? Did he go? Do you want to?
What do you mean you went to see his house?
They took us on a
tourist attraction.
They took us on a conducted tour of the hidden Rome, they called it.
Right.
Down somebody's street.
It was basically snooping on people. Yeah.
No,
you
what
do
it was.
that in big cities. You've been to LA and you can go on the bus and they show you
that's slightly different than Mourinho's house in Rome.
The tour guy had run out of ideas and went, I'll tell you what, just kid on that. See that house? Get Jose Mourinho one.
You're a cynic.
Last time you were away, what was it? You told me you went on what hidden Amsterdam. In fact, forget about that. let's not go there. A big bid has just come in for the Ange Postecoglou. I'm now going to call it experience, right? Because you get the signed jumper from Ange Postecoglou, but you also get to meet him. He hands over the prize, and there's a signed ball in there as well from the full Celtic team. So it is worth a fortune to Celtic fans. That's got to be. And I think Ian Gallagher has just put one in of £1,600. So
good start.
I must admit, I do think that's going to be. Or Ryan Gallagher, sorry Ryan. Ryan Gallagher has put one in for £1,600. I still think that's going to go well up.
The thing is, would you wear it to the game?
Yes, 100%.
You'd wear it saying
frame it.
You're paying for the audience with the man, though, aren't you?
Look at the attention get Celtic Park. Strutting about Celtic
your back
Park
with a jumper.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, look, that's going to be.
You might stretch it.
That's going to be brilliant. It really is. I'm fascinated to see how much that goes for. But they're ticking along nicely. The signed Rangers shirts already at $350. Muhammad Ali, what a name, from Cafe India Burnside, £350. Will I lower myself to it for the children? Absolutely. Come on, Rangers fans, you can't let the Celtic prize go for the most. Let's tap into the rivalry.
That's what we need, cynicism.
Exactly. Come on, it's for the kids. I'm not apologising for that. £350 for the Rangers top. Let's go more. No, nothing yet on the hospitality at Partick Thistle.
If you don't bid more, Celtic are bigger than you.
That's it, Hugh.
I know.
Yeah, stir it up. And the Stephen Davis Northern Ireland shirt at Durashield Windows from Bearsden. It's a great opening bid of 175. But bearing in mind, this guy is football royalty in terms of the Northern Ireland scene. So we got to go up. We've got to go up. Central Car Auctions are sponsoring the full thing today. 01415652468. Will we just give the teasers a miss today? Just too busy? Do you mind?
Yeah, not at all.
Good. I mean, I hope the listeners don't mind. We'll be back with a vengeance on that.
There was a one name on it I
future.
couldn't read anyway. So.
Good. Never mind then. Never mind. I don't know about this. Pozog says you should auction an item that's a night out at Curry karaoke with you guys, and you get to sing Tony Bennett with Hugh Keevins.
Oh yes.
Have you been to the Curry karaoke?
No.
Fantastic.
Oh, it sounds.
Where's that?
Down there somewhere. I can't remember the name.
It's
of
still on the go. I went to one when I was
I think
years ago
so.
at some sort of works night out.
I landed in one. It was fantastic.
What about the Clyde One Christmas night out the other night? I mean, in terms of Super Scoreboard scandal, I was a bit disappointed. I know you couldn't make it, Hugh, which is understandable. You're the worst, right? The worst type of night out goer.
Yeah.
Because I've heard of people doing this when they're drunk, right? But you were in the non-alcoholic beer again. You've taken a new turn, right? You're looking after yourself, which is great. Especially me, I'd never judge you for that. I think that's good on you, right? Well done. You're making a positive change in your life. But you still got up.
Sounds like I had to.
Don't like to
You're on a
judge.
slippery slope.
But I've never seen a sober person get up and leave without saying goodbye and just sneak off into the night. Who does that?
Me.
I've seen drunk guys and that's like their thing, or he disappears at random points in the night.
He's just rude, Gordon.
No,
He's rude.
It's just ignorant.
Because especially when you're mid-conversation with him,
He literally stood up from the table and just walked out
and didn't come back.
Look, I know how it works. You'll see some of the weirdos that you don't really like in the office. You don't want to say goodbye to them.
Sitting next to one.
You didn't even say goodbye to me and him. We're your only friends in this world.
He was talking, right? He was doing my head in. I was drinking non-alcoholic beer, enjoying myself until he started to open his mouth, and I thought,
Hey,
right,
I bought you one of those non-alcoholic
no, I gave
beers,
you my token,
which is a rip-off,
I
by
gave
the
you
way.
my token for
Charging
about £7
for that.
and I ended up, I had to walk all the way down the stairs, which was ridiculous.
It's not because you're scared of lifts. It's not your own fault.
I know he said this before, but that's the first ever lift I've been in with him,
terrible.
right?
No,
and I thought he was kidding on.
Just we'll revisit that in a second because we've got one of these, if you don't mind.
Goal flashes with Clyde Built Home Improvements.
The Jambos are in front. It starts 1, Kilmarnock 0. It's Josh Ginnelly who's opened the scoring. So Halliday with his new hair, delighted. Robbie Nielsen, who's cropped his, delighted as well. Josh Ginnelly has opened the scoring.
Important game that for Hearts today, especially with Aberdeen losing earlier in the day. It's a chance for them
Hibs
just to get a wee bit closer.
The other night, just in terms of that rivalry.
Important for Kilmarnock as well.
Yeah,
Well, that when Fraser explained what happened in the warm-up and the player having to go off,
Big Guinness, bit of discomfort
it
on the
all-
Maduri.
It all had an ominous look about it for Kilmarnock. So
Yeah, it was a Joe Wright mistake actually, which is not great. So just to quickly revisit, you're scared of lifts,
Yeah.
which I've seen this before.
Not scared of lifts, literally. I'm not looking at a lift thinking I'm frightened of you. I'm frightened.
Claustrophobic.
I'm claustrophobic.
Right. But we were in the, which is no joking matter. I wouldn't dare to go
Terrible.
there. But we were in the Sky Bar at the Radisson, so
Yeah.
nobody ever takes the stairs, right? Because it's miles up.
There's hundreds of them. Honestly, I was so glad to get to the bottom. And
When
you
we
know what?
arrived, there's the lift attendant who pushes the button and checks her underneath. So he tries to
I've given her my best
give her
lot.
some patter. However, there's a language
English,
barrier,
yeah, not
and she
great.
has no idea what this guy's talking about. Then we get in the lift, and I've never seen a guy panic so much in my life.
Hey, that's
That was
the bit
brilliant.
that's not the laughing matter.
I've no escape route. Usually, if I look
That's
at
kind of how a lift works.
yeah, I had to. What I usually do is I plan it. I look at the ceiling to see if you can get out that way, right? But
Oh
there
yeah,
was-
the thought of you
there was
bumbling
no-
your way on the top
no,
of the lift.
he'd have given you a excuse, yeah.
I started shaking.
Oh, he
him,
started.
and he was
Oh, terrible.
he was terrified. It
Anyway,
was
I've never seen
magnificent.
if a sober person just gets up and leaves without saying goodbye, that's just rude. On the other hand, well seeing, you cannot get this guy away early, can you?
No,
he goes on, he kicks on.
He was in the mood. He was actually asking me to
enjoy
book a room.
myself.
He's like, let's just book a room.
You were in the mood. I can see it.
Like,
We
no,
were.
please.
You had that glint in your eye.
Deep in conversation with anybody that would listen.
Honestly, see the minute the third gin went to his hand, I'm thinking I'm out of here. I'm
You've got
away.
to enjoy yourself.
I've had enough
Once
of
a
him.
year, these things come a bit. In fact, that's a lie. I've got
thought
4
you
of
were
them.
4 in a row.
Aye.
4 of them.
And
It's
what
only
made-
4 times a year.
What made it worse, Hugh, right? I'm watching him, he's walking about going like, go on, have a guess, we jingle look like. Go on for the side. Go on.
Getting a lot of compliments on that.
Yeah,
It
did
was-
you hear
it was
this
flattering.
a very disturbing week, Hugh,
Yeah.
on Clyde One Super Scoreboard? Mark and I, and you were invited down, and so was Gordon, but you couldn't make it. We got so-called professional pictures taken for.
See, I blame producer Callum because he puts these things on something called an app, and I don't have an app.
Never mind, right, forget that. We'll blame him for something else later. But we got the pictures taken, and the photographer said to Mark Wilson, "Do you know, Mark, you look like," and he kept telling Mark he looked like someone. So we had a bit of fun on the show on Thursday night where the listeners had to guess who it was, and only one person got it right. Inexplicably, it was Richard Gere.
I know.
Yeah.
Do you believe
What
that?
do you think of that, Hugh? Eh?
Well,
He's actually believing that.
No, there's
Right?
no
And she's
resemblance
lady, she's
whatsoever.
running about thinks she's Julie Roberts. Let me tell you, the two of them popped up today at the outside. She thinks she's Julie Roberts.
Can we maybe skip over that, bearing in mind what the plot is to that film in particular?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
She's got a better job in that.
Do you know what I
by the
mean?
way.
I don't think she'll be very happy to hear that. So if we could just,
I mean, she's got a change of career.
if we could just move, if we could just, do you know what?
Julia Roberts at the end. At the
Say-
end of the film.
She ain't no pretty woman.
The
saved,
problem
hold on, quickly. Saved by one of these.
Goal flashes. With Clyde Built Home Improvements.
Ross County 1, St Johnstone 0. Homeside take the lead. Jordan White in 22 minutes. Gabriel may have got a puncture this morning, but it was worth the trip to see that goal. Ross County 1, St Johnstone 0. And another one of these.
Goal flashes. With Clyde Built Home Improvements.
And Thistle are level. Harry Milne with the header. Dipo Akinyemi's opener, not keeping Ayr in front for long. Partick Thistle 1, Ayr United 1. And a quick recap: it's Ross County 1, St Johnstone 0.
Well done, the Jags.
Back to Richard Gere.
Yeah, the problem I had on Thursday with this was that you kept it going too long. Lady Keevins will not eat while Super Scoreboard is on. I can listen to it for the 2 hours and then eat, or we can eat before it starts.
Why can't
But-
you eat in the middle of it?
I can, but the proprietor, the boss, will not eat and have Super Scoreboard in the background.
Oh,
So-
so it turns off.
I had to wait for a long time for my dinner until we found out who Mark Wilson looked like.
See, it's almost like I do those things deliberately to keep people listening. It's mad, isn't it? You might think I just
Got
randomly
to say
appear
though,
in here
the
with no
listeners
thought.
not so kind with some of the lookalikes that were throwing it.
Absolutely not.
No, I went home a broken man.
Yeah,
confident,
not
shattered.
great. And then to top it all off, a caller came on, made a comment about Richard Gere, or related to Richard Gere, that we could not broadcast, and we therefore had to cut off. Except Mark Wilson, Gordon Dale and I were laughing a lot.
I've been told.
It was very good, but
Not on a family show.
unbroadcastable.
No.
Yeah, it was fun. Anyway, it was a good night, had by all.
Yeah, Ginnelly should have scored a second. He's pulled his shot wide, went through on goal again, so Hearts in the ascendancy there. Let's revisit the 3 o'clock until 4 o'clock items, because we've got some outstanding prizes there. Cassie, how's it going?
Yeah, just going to take a little look at the bids just now. So the Ange Postecoglou signed jumper donated by Celtic has been snapped up so far by Brian Gallagher at £2,100. A fantastic bid for that, but you know, you can come in if you like, if you want. Also, by the way, I've got actually some questions to ask about this jumper. Is it a cashmere jumper? Is it cotton? What's it like? Is it been washed? These are the kind of things that I would like to know. Do you have inside information, guys?
I think the great thing is no one else actually wants to know, and it's just you, so we could probably just leave it there and then crack on and see how the bids are going, but that's just a personal thing.
No, well, no, I'd be asking the question, to be honest. I mean, I know that it's Ange Postecoglou, but I'd still like to know because I'm nosy like that. Right, lot number 10, signed Rangers FC shirt donated donated by Rangers, and that one currently is going to Joe Robinson from Eagle Couriers at £550. But again, these phone lines are open. The ladies are waiting if you would like to come in with a higher bid for that one. Hospitality Partick Thistle FC, 0 bids at the moment. I'm very disappointed in every single fan of Partick Thistle at this moment in time, because this money is going to go to Cash for Kids for a start, so that's the biggie here. But also, are you a true fan if you're not interested in this prize? We'll just recap it. A full day of hospitality at a home fixture this season, 2 people, which includes pre-match meal, inclusive bar, entertainment throughout the day, the big match, half-time snacks and post-match man of the match presentations, plus a special meet and greet with Kingsley. So we would love to hear from you if you're interested in that. We'll recap the number in a wee minute as well. Lot number 12, signed Stephen Davis Northern Ireland shirt, donated by Jimmy Nicholl, the Northern Ireland manager, and that is currently going to Mark Turkington at £220. Now, if you would like to donate today, all you have to do is call us. We're here, I'm here, ready to take a phone call. I'll talk to you personally if you'd like to, but maybe not, because my chat's not that great. 0141 565 2468 is the number.
Brilliant, keep those bids coming in. I knew the Ange Postecoglou one would be popular. It's the signed jumper. He presents it to you. You get to chat with him, and the signed Celtic ball as well from the entire squad. So Brian Gallagher, 2,100, which is sensational. I must admit, I think that's going to go more. I really do. I think we're in one of those moods today. The hospitality at Thistle, we're now getting bids in. I can see £200 to kick us off, so that's great. Thank you very much. Joe Robinson of Eagle Couriers, brilliant, thank you. But listen, I'm shameless. I will tap into this rivalry to make more money for these children. Rangers fans, we can't have the Celtic prize going for 4 times as much as the signed Rangers shirt. Now I know they're not the same prize, I know they're not directly comparable, but still, let's bridge that gap. $550 for the signed Rangers shirt. Mark Turkington, thank you, but unfortunately Mark's getting a bargain there, because Stephen Davis is football royalty in a Northern Ireland shirt, and that signed shirt from him is sitting at $220. Great stuff, but we can definitely go more. And thank you very much to Tom, who is at Clydebank Domino's. He has donated the pizzas for you this afternoon. They've just arrived in the studio, all for Cash for Kids. He's covered that for you. Wee cookies in there as well. Did I just see
you went into the cookies, have you already?
Keep that box shut, keep a bit of heat in them. Anyway, so keep the bids coming in. You've only got until 4 o'clock, 30 minutes, which is 01415652468. Look at you three going silent, so you can tuck it in.
I was just going to explain to Cassie that if Ange's jumper is autographed, signed by Ange, washing it is not a great idea, because the autograph may tend to go, Cassie. You know what I mean?
I maybe wash it and then sign it. I just don't know. I don't think we need bogged down. Oh, forget it. Right, so you get all sorts of stats in the league that now that, from your day, Gordon, it's so different. You're talking ball recoveries. They not do what is it? Ball recovery percentages or something at the World Cup. You're getting expected goals. You're even getting expected assists. Do you know what stat I want researched? What player limps the most in the Scottish Premiership? Andy Halliday. Got to be. He's now limping for the second time, but luckily his teammates are helping him out.
Goal flashes with Clyde Built Home Improvements,
because Lawrence Shanklin, that great goal getter, has stepped up to the plate. 29 minutes gone. Hearts 2, Kilmarnock 0. Could be a tough afternoon.
Long
this
day, it's got all the hallmarks of a long hard day for Derek McInnes.
All going to plan though for Robbie Nielsen.
Yeah, of course, but good positive week for Kilmarnock, because Billy Bowie, the owner, has said that he's going to build a new training facility and pay for it himself. But it started to go wrong in the warm-up. Player has to go off in the warm-up, and Hearts were always favourites to win anyway, but Kilmarnock's team disrupted minutes before the kick-off. So sorry, Dale, sounds like a long afternoon for you.
Right, keep your bids coming in on the 3 till 4 o'clock prizes and the all-day ones. The all roads lead to Hampden, the Aston Villa John McGinn package. Do you want to hear from Ange Postecoglou, Hugh?
Yeah.
It was a big day, wasn't it, at Pittodrie? Here are his post-match thoughts.
You kind of have that, I think the players have that belief, but I think more important than that, it's not just that the goal will come, it's the manner in which you go about it, because, like I said, you can get a little bit desperate thinking that, we've totally dominated a game of football. They've hardly got into our half, let alone our box, and it's 0-0. So, but I never sensed that the boys were really, led by the skipper. I thought they were really controlled and disciplined and just wore them down. I think they got a bit tired at the end as well. So we opened up a bit more space, and there was I think, like I said, sometimes in football you don't get the rewards you deserve, but I thought today we did. I don't know if you can teach patience, but certainly part of our process is to say that, as I kept saying, we want to play our football a certain way, and you have to have belief in that, irrespective of the scoreline or, what minute it is in the game. We score a lot of late goals, we score a lot of early goals, and that's because our approach doesn't change. If we're home or away, our approach doesn't change. If we're behind or we're ahead, we don't change. So the players understand that and they drive that themselves, so that when you're in that kind of situation, they're not looking for some magic formula to unlock the opposition. It's keep doing what we're doing, and in some games, like I said, we score early and we put it to bed, but even though we didn't score early today, I thought the work we did in that first 85 minutes to make them work hard and constantly ask them questions, got us the goal. I said before the game and I said during the time that we did awfully well to cover his absence, but it doesn't take away from the fact he's just a fantastic footballer and he makes our team better, no doubt about it. I think, his ability to link up play in the way we want to play, to dictate tempo. Like I said, he was key today, that, he was the one that at times sped up the game for us, other times slowed it down, we wore the opposition down, and you wouldn't have known that he's missed so much football and just gone back in the team.
He's a remarkable man, because other managers would have been tearing their hair out, literally and metaphorically, on the touchline as a long afternoon went by. Celtic had 80% possession. They had 31 shots at goal in totality, scored with one. But he never changes in demeanour. He calmly made his substitutions. Some came off, others did not. He watched Kyogo miss 2 real gilt-edged chances, and he waited and he waited and he waited, and he knew in his deepest subconscious it would come, and it came from his leader, his inspiration, Callum McGregor, and no wonder people want Ange Postecoglou's jumper.
It must be a great position to be in if you're a Celtic manager, Postecoglou, because we've all been there, standing there as a players and coaches, and you're thinking, oh, it's not our day. You look at Kyogo missing that sitter and you're thinking, we've created the chances, we've dominated the game, we're going to go out of here, it's not our day. I don't think he ever feels like that. Even when he gets to 85, 86, 87 minutes, he believes that they keep playing and they'll keep eventually knocking at that door and they'll get their rewards, and that's what happened to do. You cannot take anything away from their performance today. They're coming down the road with well-deserved 3 points.
I think that is the most impressive thing. I touched on the mentality, but the belief and the ability probably not to panic. I mean, we've been there. How many times have you been on a pitch or standing as a manager where you do look at the watch and you do think, we've got to do something dramatically different here. You see teams resorting to playing long balls into the box, hoping for that small percentage that it breaks to someday and they get a goal that way. But a Celtic team, they're well drilled, they understand the manager's philosophy that they're never ever going to go down that route, and they always come up with the goods. And when you've got players like Callum McGregor, when you're in and about the Aberdeen box, I was saying it all day, and you get a yard free, you've got a better chance than most of the teams in this league snatching a goal like they did at the end there, but thoroughly deserved. And you just can't see anyone really coming close to them.
You understand the psychology of the occasion, Mark, because with 5 minutes to go, the Rangers supporters are listening and thinking, I knew it. They were going to drop points at Pittodrie, and then it's snatched away from them. So it's a psychological blow to the Rangers fans who thought that 9 was going to become 6, and it's a psychological boost to the Celtic fans to know that the last minute goals or the belated goals were there at the start of the season, and they're still there at the resumption of the season or the beginning of the new season, within the season, however you want to describe it. Callum McGregor to come back, to play the whole 94 minutes as it was, he is again, like Postecoglou, quite remarkable for what he brings to the table for Celtic.
I think you saw what it meant actually at the end. I know Ange Postecoglou always goes to the away fans after every game, but he just seemed to be doing it for a wee bit longer than usually. And Pittodrie, look, historically tough place to go, and when it's the first game back off a 5-week break, he realised the importance of winning and putting, you know, as much distance again between himself and Rangers, and they got the job done.
You certainly I'll never stand here and apologise for the way Jim Goodwin went about. As a neutral, I don't like it, but I can totally 100% understand the tactics, and it nearly paid off for him. And I'm sure that the fine lines will come in for a bit of criticism, because you look at what Celtic, they're struggling today to find the back of the net. They've dominated the game. They turn round and look at the bench and the quality they can bring on. It changes games. I thought Abada's substitution set the tone. I thought he was bright, lively, putting nice balls in. Then he brings on the experience of James Forrest, who's been there and done it, and he sets up Callum McGregor, who just back from injury, captain, the leader. They certainly deserve their 3 points. I think you'll be overall happy with the performance and style of football as well, though.
Alex Cochrane scores for Hearts, but after a VAR check, it's our first one since we returned, I think. It has been ruled out for offside. Alex Cochrane had a busy old break, didn't he? Got involved in a wee dust up in a friendly.
Yeah.
He was the one, I think, got
bit lively, that.
put on his backside in the end, and
the one manager
the match ended up getting abandoned.
The one manager who hates VAR more than any other is arguably Robbie Nielsen at Hearts, who said that it was going to be more of a hindrance than a help.
He just hates any officiating,
I
think. I don't think it's VAR. It's anyone who wears that black referee's top or assistant referee's top or VAR top.
The linesman flag was up, by the way, as well, which is something that is getting criminally overlooked sometimes when we do the analysis of these decisions, because bearing in mind, let's say we go back 6 months, we don't have VAR, or there's a power cut and VAR's not working. You have to do this crazy mad thing where you go with the on-field decision, and the assistant on this occasion said it was offside.
Well, the big one was, remember Jota, and me and Daz is there, and we seen at the time that the assistant referee got the flag up. He let play continue and Jota put it in the net, but he flagged for offside, and everybody overlooked that. They thought it was a VAR call, and you know, it did go to VAR, but if the assistant referee sees it and he flags, well, that's it, done and dusted. So we'll always argue about these things, though. And remember, we thought VAR was coming in, there'd be no talking points, it would be clear cut. It's went the opposite way.
I think you were foolish to think that, though, if you did in the first place, rather than this being some sort of failure. It's you. If you thought that before, then you've not been watching, you've not been paying attention to the world of football who had it before us, and the World Cup that's on right now.
Yeah,
it's good game this, though. Croatia won, Morocco won.
If this was the standard throughout, I would have certainly sat down and enjoyed the World Cup. I've found it very disappointing, but I'm looking forward to the final tomorrow to see that Messi can just take every.
You're looking forward to the final?
Yes.
You're going to watch the final?
Yes, because
he's a big game player here.
Do you have a favourite for the final?
Yeah, I think France will beat Argentina.
Why would you slaughter the tournament all the way through and then tune in for the final?
Just basically because of nothing to do.
How much of that pizza have you managed to cram in?
I know, there's a bit
in 4 minutes. I'm going to give him a pat on the back here. It
would be quite an achievement, though, for Didier Deschamps, the French manager, to win back-to-back World Cups. I mean, that puts you in the elite.
Yeah, one is player, one is manager, everything. So I just think that Argentina, they'll rely on the main man, of course they will, and why not?
Would sentimentality not take you towards Lionel Messi and say, I hope he wins it because he's never done it before and he'll never get a chance to do it again?
I think a lot of people outside France will be taking that same view, Hugh, but I just feel that I like France. I like their attacking players. I like the way they've went about their business. I think they've been better in Argentina in the way through, but I think it's been a poor World Cup, and it'd be good for the France manager to win it back to back.
The fairy tale mark is Argentina win, Messi scores the winning goal.
Yep, that would be it, Hugh. I think Argentina have been average, but they have the best player at the tournament, and I hope for football's sake that he wins it. There is that sentimentality that I think most of the footballing world want to see him win it.
No other goals in our Scottish games at the moment. We do have bids ticking along nicely. You've only got until 4 o'clock for some of the prizes. So the Hospitality Partick Thistle's moving nicely. The Ange Postecoglou jumper, the signed Rangers shirt. Let me remind you quickly of our all-day prizes, because I think we need to give these some more care and attention. We're doing really well so far, but there's one thing I will not apologise for repeating, and it is the cause today. There are frankly an unacceptable number of children right here in our communities who are struggling all year, who are struggling every year. So just imagine how tough it is any Christmas, but this Christmas, with everything that's going on. So we're trying to make a huge difference, and I think with these big prizes, that's where we're looking for people to really drive up the price if possible. So the first one is an all roads lead to Hampden, hospitality for 2 at Hampden for the Scottish Cup final and the League Cup final. That is a ridiculously good prize for a fan of Scottish football, and at the moment Stuart Shaw from Cowell Building Supplies is winning on 2,750. Let's see if we can get to £3,000 and up for that, because it's an unbelievable prize. As is, this might be one of my favourites of the day, an Aston Villa game of your choice, VIP hospitality, 2 nights in a hotel. So even add that up financially, that's already worth quite a lot. And then there's the money can't buy bit. You've got a meet and greet with John McGinn. He'll sign a shirt, and like I say, you're giving money to charity anyway. So George Boyd is winning that on £3,000. Can we do more? 0141565 2468. Has there been a goal in the World Cup?
Yeah, Croatia now 2-1 in front, and it continues to be a highly entertaining football match. I mean, it's pointless. being third at anything's pointless, but it's a highly entertaining football match. And on the subject of Aston Villa hospitality, I know John McGinn's Uncle Johnny and the family go down regularly, and the hospitality apparently is stunning at Villa Park.
You'd expect nothing less, you would you, for a Premier League club? That'll be top notch stuff, that. Wouldn't mind going down myself.
Great ground, Villa Park.
I've never been.
You can bid. I'll go away.
£3,100.
Come on. Come on, all the Champions League bonus,
2,900 was
the winning
limit.
the leagues and cups that you brag about week in, week out, that we're fed up listening to.
What was the game again? What was the one that he did? They told us the big Champions League qualification bonus.
They get
aye.
What night was that?
Big double
Spartak
handful.
Moscow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not getting any of that left.
Right down
It's been well spent.
down to the cash
And
line that night.
in some areas not well spent, actually.
Had a good time though.
To be quite honest on some of it. But anyway, there we go. So those are your 2 all day prizes, but you're now running out of time really, because it's getting on a bit, so do not miss out on them. Please try and drive the price up for charity. The children need it. They need your help.
What's the bigger achievement, Mark? Qualifying for the Champions League or hanging about with the Dazzler?
No comparison.
Well, he's got more experience now. That's the most important thing.
More experience.
I brought him on well.
Before we get to half time, because we'll then start going round the grounds, 15-minute warning on these. I can't believe just how good this prize will be for Celtic fans. Because I can only imagine, based on how they all talk when they phone in here. You're getting an Ange Postecoglou signed jumper, but here's the but. You go to Celtic Park or Lennoxtown and the man himself presents you with it. So you get to meet him, you get your signed jumper. And this Celtic squad that you all love so much, because you phone in and tell me, there's a signed ball from them as well. All in the one prize. A stunning prize if you're a Celtic fan. Brian Gallagher leads the way on 2,100. I honestly think that can still go up. I know it's a lot of money, but that's a proper prize, that. So please get your bids in there. Lot number 10 is moving nicely as well. Graham from MF Logistics is up to £600 for the signed Rangers shirt. Thank you to Rangers for donating that. But come on, you know how this rivalry works. The Rangers side of things, we need to get that bid up to keep up with that Celtic prize. And I will shamelessly do that because it's for the children. £600 there from Graham. Let's go a bit more. That hospitality for Partick Thistle, is that sitting at I think, I don't want to read that out in case it's not, because I can see someone typing and I don't want it to be a typo, because if it isn't, we've gone quite high on that, which I'm pleased at. And the signed Stephen Davis Northern Ireland shirt, James Penman's winning on 350. Very generous from James, and I appreciate it. I still feel like he might be getting a bit of a bargain. You know, in Northern Ireland circles, when Stephen Davis goes and hangs up the boots internationally, it's like the most capped player. I think we can go more there. So you've got 15 minutes left on those 4: the Postecoglou package, the signed Rangers shirt, hospitality at Thistle, and the signed Stephen Davis shirt. Don't miss out just because you were hanging around too long. 0141565 2468 before 4 o'clock.
The Postecoglou one would be good if you could get it presented at Lennoxtown. You know, when you go there and you'd be able to spend a wee bit of time rather than just Celtic Park, or see behind the scenes. Always.
Well, let's not make promises that aren't a part of the prize. But you've got them lining up in a shooting drill in 2 minutes. So.
Well, you must. I mean, he's not going to just come out to the gate and throw it over the fence, is he? So at least you get a glimpse of what goes into
the next home game.
Anyway, right, we're nearly at half time in our featured matches. There's very few on down the leagues, but we've got Wraith 1, Arbroath 1, Colin Hamilton equalising on the stroke of half time. Queen of the South 1, Kelty Hearts 0 at half time there. It's half time at Hearts. Let's speak to Fraser.
It is. It's Hearts 2, Kilmarnock 0, and to be honest with you, Hearts completely dominant, deserve to be 2 ahead, and it could have been more, but they've only got Ginnelly and Shanklin goals to show for a completely dominant show. In fact, it was Kelly just started the better team in 2 minutes. Armstrong completely miskicked a volley at the back post. He plenty of space, 10 yards out, no pressure on him at all. He completely miskicked with the weaker right foot, and a volley. It was a good chance. Then Rory McKenzie, clever back flick from Mayo cross. It was low, but it was held by Gordon as Kelly confident start continued. But after that, it was just all Hearts. Andy Halliday's shot from 16 yards held by Walker as the game opened up. Then the wing back saw his low cross flash across goal, 3 yards out, no takers. But with Hearts slowly taking charge, the opener came in 19 minutes. Defender for Kelly, Joe Wright, didn't deal with a long ball. He simply headed the ball up into the air and it bounced into no man's land. Josh Ginnelly, really quick player, raced onto the bouncing ball, got his foot over it and smashed the bouncing ball past Sam Walker. Ginnelly should have had a second. 4 minutes later, a long Kingsley pass, saw him through 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper, but he pulled his shot a yard wide. Really should have scored. It was 2-0 though on the 29th minute. Andy Halliday was fouled by Liam Donnelly, a yellow card for the Kelly player on the corner of the penalty box. Robert Snodgrass, lovely free kick, flighted to the back post. Shanklin had peeled off his defender, headed down past Walker into the empty net. First use of VAR came 35 minutes, a lovely passing move to the left, ended with Andy Halliday slipping in. Cochrane, who scored a low shot, but after VAR looked at it, was flagged offside by the linesman. The VAR confirmed that the linesman was correct, it was offside. Then again, another lovely move. Mackay, Shanklin set up Ginnelly, fierce shot just inches wide. Towards the end, a couple of rare attacks for Kelly. Liam Polworth tested Liam Gordon with a fierce 25-yard shot, fisted away by the big goalkeeper at full stretch. Then Liam Donnelly was inches wide with a flicked header from an Armstrong corner. Really clever header, front post to back post, and it was going into the back of the net, we thought, but it bounced just inches wide. But that would have been harsh on Hearts. They've been completely dominant. Hearts fans delighted. A long way back for Kelly. Just can't see them get back into the game. They've been outclassed so far. Half time here, Hearts 2, Kilmarnock 0.
There's been late drama at Partick Thistle in the first half.
Goal flashes with Clyde Built Home Improvements.
It's another Harry Milne header at the back post, this time from a lawless cross, and Partick Thistle have turned it around. They are now leading 2-1. Ayr United had taken the early advantage, but it's 2-1 to Partick Thistle, and it's half time there. Let's go to Dingwall first though, where it's half time and Gabriel's watched on.
Yeah, Ross County 1, St Johnstone 0. Jordan White, well taken, 22nd minute header, the difference between the two sides at the moment. The first chance of the game was for the visitors, however. 8th minute in, good play by James Brown defence, fed it into Nicky Clark, who pulled it back for Stevie May inside the box. It was an easy save in the end for Laidlaw, but Stevie May should have done better. There was some slack passing from County, and they just kept gifting the Saints the ball again. Jordan Tilson got himself in the book. Considine, Andy Considine that is, had a chance for the Saints as well from a corner after a great Graham Carey cross. But then in the 22nd minute, against the run of play, and it was an easy header in the end, Jordan White broke the deadlock. It was bread and butter for the big man, you've got to say. He got in between the three centre-halves. It was a great ball crossed into the box by Jan Danda, and he headed it into the corner. You've got to say Danda has probably been the standout player on the park, been getting on the ball, turning a lot, and putting in some good deliveries from free kicks as well. It should have been 2 to the Staggies, 5 minutes for the interval. Kazim Olagbe received the ball at the edge of the box, swiveled past his man, but he pulled his finish past the post with his left foot, and he had to score, although he did seem to injure himself in the process. A couple of minutes later, another great save from Ross Laidlaw from a Stevie May effort. This time May did much better, headed the ball into the round. It was coming back up, looked like it was going just in off the post, but Laidlaw got a big strong hand to it. And it's been a fairly even game, Gordon. It's been a good one too. County have looked dangerous on the break, getting in behind the back three, but the Saints started to push a little bit more towards the end there. They are certainly still in this game. Half-time in Dingwall, Ross County 1, St Johnstone 0.
Half-time in our championship game between Partick Thistle and Ayr United. Roger Hannah.
Yeah, Partick Thistle 2, Ayr United 1. The Jags lead at half-time thanks to 2 goals from their left back, Harry Milne, after they'd fallen behind early on. Ian McCall's men started brightly, but they fell behind after just 9 minutes. Virtually Ayr's first attack of the game. The Championship's top scorer, Dippo Akinyemi, going down the left-hand side. There didn't seem a lot of threat, to be honest, Gordon, when he went down that inside left channel, but he cut inside onto his right foot, came into the box and lashed a shot high past Thistle goalkeeper Jamie Snedden for 1-0, his 15th goal of the Championship season. Thistle were level in 21 minutes, so a corner from Kel Turner and a flashing header by Milne, who got above Akinyemi to head past their goalkeeper Charlie Albinson. The Jags had the better of the rest in half. Brian Graham poked wide after good play by Stephen Lawless down the right, and then Aidan Fitzpatrick came off the left and had an angled shot which was pushed out by Ayr goalkeeper Albinson. Kel Turner next to threaten right on the 45-minute mark, a close range drive deflected wide for a corner. Thistle kept pushing though, and in added time at the end of the first half. Good play down the right again by Lawless. He stood up across to the back post and Milne came barrelling in to knock home a header from point blank range. Ayr very unhappy. They were appealing for a foul by Milne. The coaching staff came on to the pitch to confront referee David Monroe after the half-time whistle. It won't change anything now. The Jags lead at the break. Partick Thistle 2, Ayr United 1.
Right, you're running out of time. You've only got 7 minutes left on the following 3. The Ange Postecoglou signed jumper, signed ball presented by the man himself, the signed Rangers shirt, the hospitality at Thistle, the signed Stephen Davis Northern Ireland shirt. They are ticking along nicely. If you want to get in touch, you've got 7 minutes left. 01415652468. I'll update you on them next.
Action as it happens, and your reaction from 5 on the open line. This is Clyde One Super Scoreboard.
Half time around the country at the 3 o'clock games. Let's quickly go. This is your final warning on the 3 o'clock until 4 o'clock prizes. There's a bidding war going on, Cassie. What do you need to do to win those 4 prizes in the next couple of minutes?
You need to call us on 0141 565 2468, but we have some incredible bids coming in at the moment, and you're right, Gordon, the phone lines are non-stop just now. It's just great to see this all kick off, because as I say, every single penny is going to cash for kids, so we're loving it. By the way, did you enjoy your pizzas? Because you've got me to thank for that. By the way, guys,
thank you very much appreciated.
Well, you've got Tom at Domino's, but I mean, there was quite a lot of blagging going on in here because he donated them for free. So thanks, Tom at Domino's in Clydebank, for sorting us all out with many, many pizzas. Right, Ange Postecoglou's signed jumper donated by Celtic FC. This was a big prize, as you said, and it's currently sitting at £2,700, and it's Harry Kennedy that is bidding for that at the moment, and that is from Skybox One First Vehicle Leasing. And now we've got the signed Rangers shirt donated by Rangers FC. Got Graham here from MF Logistics. It's £600 for that one. You might want to come up. I don't know if we can get a wee bit of a Celtic Rangers bidding war here on the go. Hospitality at Partick Thistle FC donated by the team. It's an anonymous bid for that, but £1,050. I'd like to think that was my sales skills when we're sitting at absolutely nothing, and we were saying how incredibly disappointed we were with all the Partick Thistle fans out there. But no, so we've got an anonymous bid for that at £1,050. Lot number 12, signed Stephen Davis Northern Ireland shirt donated by Jimmy Nichol, the Northern Ireland manager. That is Hugh and James from Giant H Auto Care at £500. Also, whilst I'm here, can I just thank Scott Seath at Plum Store in Bells Hill for just calling up and donating £800.
Yay!
So that's another £800 that we can put into the pot for Cash for Kids. And also Legacy Home Improvements, who have donated £300.
Woohoo!
So this is good, all good news up here.
Yeah, brilliant. But you've now only got a minute left, a minute and a half. If you want any of those prizes, hurry up. Right, that's the signed Stephen Davis Northern Ireland top, hospitality at Thistle, signed Rangers shirt, or that unbelievable Ange Postecoglou signed jumper presented by the man himself, and signed Celtic ball. Those 4, you've got a minute left. 01415652468.
The team with the biggest support in Glasgow and the West. This is Clyde One Super Scoreboard.
Second half of the 3 o'clock game's about to get underway. Of course, Celtic already won at Pittodrie earlier this lunchtime, and it is our Cash for Kids sports auction, sponsored by Central Car Auctions as well. So it's always a hugely important day for us. We try and raise as much money as possible, and the 3 o'clock until 4 o'clock lots are finished, done. It's too late. Let's get a final update on those from Cassie.
Okay, Ange Postecoglou's signed jumper donated by Celtic has went to Harry Kennedy from Skybox One First Vehicle Leasing at £2,700. Absolutely incredible. Signed Rangers shirt donated by Rangers went to Graham from MF Logistics at £600. We still have that anonymous bid at £1,050 for the hospitality at Partick Thistle. And lot number 12, a signed Stephen Davis Northern Ireland shirt donated by Jimmy Nicholl, the Northern Ireland manager, as went to Hugh and James at J&H Auto Care at £500.
Brilliant, well done. I mean, Jimmy Nicholl isn't the Northern Ireland manager, but I did see it written down on somebody's sheet earlier. These things happen. Look, it's for the kids. It's for the kids. And it was Jimmy Nicholl that donated it. So brilliant. Hugh, honestly, that Ange Postecoglou prize, signed jumper, you get to meet him, you get the sign ball, £2,700.
I'm standing here thinking, Gordon, when he was in Yokohama, did Ange Postecoglou ever sit at night and think, do you know what, next place I go, they'll be buying my jumper for £2,700?
Well, I'm standing here and thinking I boobed, because when I was getting changed next to him, I should have just lifted his jumper, put it in the bag and brought it home.
Right, don't forget we've got those all-day prizes, the all roads leading to Hampden, the Aston Villa package, so we'll get to them in the not too distant future and try and give them a bit of love, get the prize up. But here is what we've got on offer between now and 5 o'clock, right? So from now until 5 o'clock, listen carefully, and this is what we've got. Firstly, hospitality for Celtic against Hearts. Now that is always a good fixture, always high drama. It's 2 seats in the director's box. It's on the 25th of February. You get a signed Celtic shirt and a complimentary tour of Celtic Park for 4 people.
That's good.
Right, donated by Celtic FC. Thank you very much. Add that up again. I keep saying that, but it's important we consider firstly what that's worth, and then if we can even add some on just as a charitable donation there as well. That is incredible when you add that all in. So 2 seats in the director's box, hospitality for Celtic against Hearts, 25th of February. You never know, February, could that be a crucial time for trying to secure a league or whatever if the league table stays the way it is. You then get a Celtic shirt signed by the squad. So all the Celtic fans that phone in here love all these players, so you're getting your signed shirt as well, and then a complimentary tour of Celtic Park, and that's for 4 people. So that, we must be at 4 figures at least for that. Let's see what we can do there to kick things off.
Sounds like most of my Saturdays at Celtic, sitting in the director's box, left at the squad, then to the Celtic Park. To the Celtic Park, used to just walk round and think.
Next one, lot 14. Now, Rangers fans, you are going to want a lot of this, believe me, because it is a signed and framed Gaza top. It's been donated by John Fleming of Easy Peasy Prizes. Thank you to John. I know there are a lot of people out there in terms of, pick up these collector's items. If you're one of them and you're a Rangers fan, this will be top drawer. It's perfectly framed as well. It's got 3 nice pictures below it. Gascoigne 8, obviously one of the old Adidas strips, signed by Gaza himself. So you can bid for that, Rangers fans or anyone else, any collectors out there. That's a top prize. The next one, again, I like these ones. Maybe the so-called smaller local teams out in the community, you can still go along and have a fantastic day. Sometimes these are the best because it's a bit more, maybe it's a bit more off the cuff hospitality at the smaller clubs. Maybe get away with more, do you know what I mean? So hospitality for 2 at Dumbarton. Thank you to Dumbarton FC for donating that. It's hospitality for 2, any league game, a 3-course lunch with a welcome drink, and I'm led to believe that Chef John Hogan is getting fabulous reviews, and he's got 5-star food there. So there we are.
And they promise not to lock you in.
You got locked in, didn't you? You're in the director's box. You've got a buffet as well, and access to the pay bar in the Shiva suite. So there we go. Good. I like that. I always like it when you can go along. Maybe you've never even been. What a day out that would be. Hospitality at Dumbarton. You can make the most of it. St Mirren fans, right? You'll be listening because you didn't get your game this afternoon. It's been off. So when the football does start back, how good would this be? Director's box for 2 at St Mirren. So you're in the director's box, which is obviously an unbelievable view, but you're rubbing shoulders, aren't you, with all the main characters at your club. It doesn't include Old Firm games, but it's for any other game of your choice. Director's box for 2 at St Mirren. So that's a brilliant prize as well, donated by St Mirren. And one final, we've actually got a goal to tell you about, but one final extra prize, because it's just been added, this one. Someone kindly donated it. I think it was Jim Collins at PD Produce. We've added another Celtic v St Johnstone hospitality. Now the thing I like about this, it's next Saturday, so everyone's in that sort of Christmas mindset. Imagine you're hold on a minute, I'm finished up work, it's a Saturday, it's Christmas Eve, you're getting breakfast on arrival, a free bar, half-time snacks, free bar post-match with lunch and a match day gift in the number 7 lounge.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah.
On Christmas Eve next week. That's a brilliant prize as well. Thanks to Jim Collins for donating it. So all of those, Celtic St Johnstone hospitality, the Celtic Hearts hospitality with the signed shirt and the tour and all that stuff, the director's box at St Mirren, hospitality for two at Dumbarton, and the signed and framed Gaza top, they're all open from now until 5 o'clock. 0141 565 2468. Unbelievable prizes that you would want to get your hands on under any circumstances. And when you factor in you're helping vulnerable children on our doorstep that need your help, I'd really like to think as many people as possible would get involved. So please do. 0141 565 2468. One of these in our championship game.
Goal flashes with Clyde Built Home Improvements.
Partick Thistle 2, Ayr 2, Logan Chalmers on at half time, gives it 90 seconds and batters in a goal of the season contender. I like his style. Partick Thistle 2, Ayr 2.
Sounds like a great game for him.
Yeah.
Roger Hanna must be thoroughly enjoying it, and it's now a cliffhanger. Who will get the third and possibly winning goal?
I'm splitting this one, two of my former teams. I'm glad it's 2-2, but Roger's certainly getting Firhill for thrills.
Oh yeah,
it's incredible. You can just imagine you're stewing, you're on the bench thinking, what, come on. You probably have a bit of a dream of what's going to happen. So he comes on, comes up to the first man, wee step over, goes by him, gets to the next one, so tries the step over again, by him, and then curls one into the top corner.
Good player, that boy. Certainly is. He's made the move to Ayr, and you think, is it a backward step? But
he's only on loan, is he not, from Dundee United, or was it permanent?
Is it on loan? Well, you just wonder how much game time he's going to get, but he is a good player. United may just want him back.
Well, they won't have done any harm at all with that type of goal, that's for sure. Brilliant, well done, great game at Ayr, at Partick Thistle. Sorry, there, Partick Thistle 2, Ayr 2. Right, and we've got the auction ticking along. I'm going to check in on those full day prizes, in the not too distant future. Do you want to hear from Jim Goodwin? Anyone?
Yes.
Don't forget, I know it's the Cash for Kids Sports Auction. It's a very busy day. I sometimes wake up in cold sweats leading up to Cash for Kids Sports Auction because it's so busy, and then I remember that that's very selfish and it's for a brilliant cause, and it always ends up a really fantastic day. So I know it's busy, but we will have the open line at 5 o'clock. So Celtic fans, what did you make of the game today? Aberdeen fans, what did you make of it? Because here's what Jim Goodwin had to say on the subject.
Many ways to play a game of football, and we've had plaudits in the past for going to Ibrox and trying to have a go at Rangers, and we got beat 4-1 in the end and could have been 10. Today you sit in, you try and frustrate Celtic, you deny them that space that they want with the great movement of Kyogo and Maeda and Jota in wide areas. So we tried to frustrate them, I think is the right word, and it worked for large periods. The problem was when we managed to get possession of the ball back, we didn't do enough with it. We weren't composed enough on the ball. Again, a lot of that is down to the pressure that Celtic put you under. As soon as they lose it, their reaction is to go and get it back immediately. And I think we tired toward the end, which is only natural, having not played a competitive game for 5 weeks. But it's not a style of football that our fans here at Pittodrie have been used to this season. We've won prior to today, won 6 of the last 7 league fixtures, scored loads of goals at home, been very attacking minded and very offensive. But today I felt to give us the best chance of getting a result from the game, that was the best way to go. And any criticism that is going to come, and I hear the fans at the end, the mumping in the morning, and I understand it completely. They want to see us being more attacking than that, and obviously we will be in the future, but today I just felt that was the best way to manage that particular game.
So what does he do now? On Tuesday at Pittodrie, it's Aberdeen versus Rangers. He almost got away with it today against Celtic. Frustrate, that was the word they used. He put a team out to frustrate Celtic, and Celtic were frustrated, partly down to their own fault for missing good chances in the main Kyogo. But what does Jim Goodwin do now? The fans are saying, no, don't want that football. So against Rangers, do you try to be more expansive? That was a remarkable quote when he said that they went to Ibrox, lost 4, and it might have been 10. That's the Aberdeen manager talking.
Yeah, because general terms, we've been here many times. We've always argued about this. What do? Do you just try and suffocate them? If you open up against Celtic and Rangers, you might end up losing heavily. Where's the positives in doing that? But obviously, the obvious problem for Jim Goodwin today is they did lose, and had it not been for a ridiculous sitter from Kyogo, they fall behind earlier.
Yeah.
The fans are not having it. He's talking about the reaction. I've had a look at social media. They're not having that today, that type of performance. But then as he might say, okay, what do you want us to open up and lose 4?
Exactly. So listen,
where's the balance then? You're Aberdeen, you're at home.
Yeah. So there's no doubt when he touched on it, when they had the ball, those limited periods, they had to do more with the ball. But I don't think there's anything wrong with Jim's approach against a much better team who do look for space in behind, and he almost gets away with it. But just those moments, a few in the first half, very rarely in the second half, only when Celtic scored, they ventured into Celtic's penalty box. There had to be more quality, and it would have been much more acceptable.
Is geography important here, Gordon? You get away with that more in the eyes of your fans when it's at Celtic Park and Ibrox. But when it's at your place, big expectant crowd.
Well, I can understand from both sides, but I thought his game plan, the first part, worked by frustrating Celtic and being well organised, and you can't get away from that. I thought they looked very well organised. The second part was, as much as he got to 80 plus minutes, you've got to have a plan to say, right, when we get the ball, what have we got to do? I kept saying, why you totally, every time they got it, kicked up the park, gave away Celtic. Somewhere you've got to say, let's try and get a breather. Whether you played 2 guys up top, not one quality ball went up to either the 2 strikers, right? So you're never getting out, you're inviting trouble onto you. So as much as he nearly got away with it, there's no chance in this world he can get into Tuesday night and play with the same tactics. It will not be accepted.
But
Point number 1.
Just quickly on that then, Hugh.
Point number 1. 6 of 7 home games have been won prior to today. Therefore, they have form at home. Point number 2, Bojan Majowski has scored 12 goals this season, 11 of them at Pittodrie. He therefore is your ace in the hole. But he went off injured or bored or both, because there was absolutely nothing for him to work off today.
I'll let you set the parameters here though by asking you this. Are Rangers as much of an attacking threat as Celtic at the moment?
No.
Middle to front, I'd probably say no.
Okay.
I think Celtic have got more about them.
That's fine. I just want to know. So just hypothetically then.
Yeah.
Why would you not repeat that during the week and think, well, we nearly managed it against Celtic. Rangers aren't as good attacking wise, which you said, not me. And therefore it's got a chance of getting us a point.
Right, okay, so basically they're going in Tuesday night to try and get a point against Rangers. Because
I'm just asking the question.
Let me tell you, if they play with the same tactic, they're never going to score, because they're never in the opposition box to score. I think that I've been in that position going, I went to Ibrox with Ayr United, and I'm sitting there thinking this could be a right sore one, I need to sit in, whatever, right? But you're Aberdeen, you're at home, I think you've got to put up a better fight.
Yeah, well, we can get stuck into that in the open line. Why not give us a call? Game of the day by a mile, Roger Hanna.
Goal flashes with Clyde Built Home Improvements.
Partick Thistle 3, Ayr United 2. Stephen Lawless on 56 minutes. It was a half volley at the back post, Turner with the cutback, and then Lawless with the finish. Ayr were 1 up. Partick Thistle went 2-1 up. Ayr then pulled it back, and now Thistle go back in front. What a match.
See, you can't get anywhere without unity of purpose. The fans have come together, the factions have come together. There's a new chairman, there is positivity back in the air. They will get the chance to have those 2 factions of supporters come together, and now there is a unity of purpose, and it's being reflected on the park, because 2 weeks ago Thistle would have lost this game. They're not over the line yet, but what a fight they're putting up.
The only disappointing thing for them, if that stays the result, is that they don't move anywhere in the league. They just stay where they are. I suppose they put a wee bit of distance between themselves and Inverness, but because of that gap opened up with Morton ahead of them, they've still got a bit of work to do to break into that top four.
Yeah, but it gives them a confidence booster, Mark, because everyone's saying that Ayr are probably the team just now in that division. And if you can go and get a good result against them, get a victory, 3 points, kick off again, that's all about confidence. It's all about building momentum.
Absolutely, what a game.
If it does end this way, then it's a good day for Dundee, who didn't even play, because it means that Ayr would stay in 32. Dundee would be 1 point behind, but with a game in hand. Queen's Park on 30. So it'd be a bad day all round for Ayr United. Good for Partick Thistle, Dundee and Queen's Park.
Absolutely. We've got good games in the Premiership as well. Ross County still leading St Johnstone, and Hearts 2 up against Kilmarnock. Anyway, back for Kelly there?
No, not at all.
No, I don't think any's fancied Kelly this afternoon. I think that's only going to get worse for them.
Right, okay, let's remind ourselves of these all-day prizes, because this stuff hasn't moved in a while, and I don't want anyone getting complacent, and I don't want us not raising as much as possible just because we've been leaving it throughout the afternoon. These close at the end of the show, right? And these prizes on the Cash for Kids Sports Auction are sensational. These are our main prizes. That's why we run them all day, and there is a lot in there. Listen to the detail of this. All roads lead to Hampden, donated by John Fleming of Easy Peasy Prizes. It is Super Box Hospitality at Hampden for both the League Cup final and the Scottish Cup final, the two biggest cup occasions in the Scottish football calendar, and it's for two people. So it's the ultimate football hospitality experience. You also get to enjoy the match with panoramic views of the pitch from a private balcony in the middle of the South Stand. Imagine that's a Celtic Rangers Celtic Cup final.
Yeah.
Double. I mean, what is that prize going to be worth? I mean, seriously, that is an incredible prize. And at the moment, Stuart Shaw from Kibble Building Supplies is winning at £2,750. It is so generous of Stuart, and I do thank him. I must admit, I think that needs to go up. It really, really does. So if you like the sounds of it, 01415652468. And I love this one because this is the type of prize that the Cash for Kids Sports Auction was made for. It's a little bit different. Here's the deal. You get 2 nights. That's 2 nights accommodation. You can make a weekend of it in a 4-star hotel in Birmingham. You get 2 VIP box tickets to an Aston Villa game of your choice before the end of the season. Get on that fixture list. Look at who's coming to Villa Park between now and the end of the season. You then get your food and drinks before the game, and at half time, and again at full time. Then in walks John McGinn. You get to sit and chat with John McGinn, and you get the signed shirt that he's just worn. And that is I'm running out of words for it. It is a sensational prize, that. And we thank George Boyd because he's in front on £3,000. But again, I think we can do better. That finishes at the end of the show. So please, 01415652468. And as much as I would love it, and I love the experience, in terms of value for your money, there's only one winner here. Only one winner. I've banged on about this all week, and for good reason. We are acutely aware, we always used to speak about this in here. What can we do? How can we make this more accessible for people? Because not everyone's got £3,000 or £2,000 or £500 to throw at a signed shirt. But how can we let everyone get involved, and how can we make a difference to Cash for Kids? I think you'll agree we've ticked every box here. A brand new Mercedes-Benz A-Class donated by Arnold Clark, and you don't need to bid. All you need to do is text CAR to 84901. That fires off £5 to Cash for Kids, and also the cost of a standard message, obviously, as well. And then you're in the hat, and you might win a Merc for a £5. That's the way to look at it. It's phenomenal. Really, really great prize. Text CAR to 84901. It closes at 6 PM today, that one. Text CAR to 84901. You can cancel your donation, by the way, by replying cancel within 60 minutes of receiving your confirmation text. I'm no car expert, so I wouldn't want to be too misleading, but that car must be worth 30 to 40 grand. I don't know, 30 grand easy, anyway, round about there. And it could be yours for a £5. Seriously, I'm not sure there's many people out there who wouldn't want involved in that. I can't think of a good reason that you wouldn't want involved in that. So text car to 84901. Those are your 3 all-day prizes. Hampden, John McGinn, brand new Merc. Get involved. Red card for Ross County. Jack Baldwin in 61 minutes. Who shall we say has been flirting with the disciplinary procedures of Scottish football quite a bit this season?
Likes a tackle.
Jack Baldwin. And he's gone off. He received the ball from the goalie under a bit of pressure. Stevie May ran in and robbed him of it, and he's pulled him back. Stevie May's kind of going towards goal, so it had to be a red. He was through on goal, 20 yards out.
Well, that'll make that game a bit more interesting then. But like you say, Gordon's no stranger to being sent off. Was he retrospectively done?
Yes,
yeah,
he was indeed. And
earlier in the season,
and I think there was another incident as well that he either got punished for or the opposition manager wasn't too chuffed about. This is not a bad tackle as such. He's just pulled someone back.
I know the listeners can't see this, but I've no idea why this guy to the left of me, he's turned his back.
I know.
And he's standing so close to me watching it. Why? What are you doing? We are on air. You're supposed to be working.
I was away with one. I was enjoying the TV.
Turned his back. He's standing an inch away from me watching the TV. Something interesting
I'm
on there.
updating Gordon while he's reading out the Cash for Kids prizes. I'm updating him with goals going in and the situation of the football. I'm a team player, Mark. I think you should know that by now.
What have you got for us then?
Ross County's just had a man sent off.
He was highlighting the Huddersfield score.
Graham Carey's hit the post for St Johnstone, looking to obviously take advantage of that incident, but it comes off the post. That would have been the ultimate kick in the you-know-whats for Malky Mackay if that had gone in.
Big week for Malky, you know. If he can get a result today, goes 6 points away from Dundee United at the bottom. He's got Rangers to play on Friday at Dingwall. Quite a week for Rangers. Wednesday, or rather Tuesday, Pittodrie. Friday, Dingwall. Big test.
Oh, Fraser's getting all the VAR checks today. There was one for a handball against Kilmarnock, not given. So there we are. No outcome there that Hearts wanted, certainly.
That's another indication of the way the game went to Pittodrie today and the way Aberdeen approached the match. Not a VAR decision anywhere. They were happy just to invite Celtic onto them. On and on and on it went. No contentious decisions at all inside the penalty box, and certainly none in front of Joe Hart, who must have been frozen up there.
And I'll need to check the stats, because just in case I didn't pay attention and I'm talking absolute nonsense, but see, because Aberdeen do sit so deep and it was Celtic were all in front of them, I feel like we barely even saw any offside decisions. Is that right?
That's a great point.
I'll look that up. Not that it'll make anyone sleep better tonight, but was it ever up?
Don't think so. The old stat, we were chatting about it during the break, the expected goals, that was an interesting one for Aberdeen.
0.06. It's pretty much as low as you can get. I mean, you'll always have a 0.0 something because you at one point went into the box or whatever.
But that doesn't make for good reading.
No.
The funny thing was, when it got to 1-0, when Callum McGregor scored, they suddenly bolted up the other end of the park and looked a bit lively.
Right, here's the stat, and I don't want anyone ever saying that we don't cut to the heart of the real issues that makes football turn. There was one offside in that entire game.
94 minutes, one offside.
I've never looked before, I've never paid attention, so someone can tell me, is that ever happened? Is that like the lowest ever? Surely you get more than that usually.
It kind of tells you the way the game went. Aberdeen sat that deep.
Here's a question for you. Was it for Aberdeen?
It was for Aberdeen. It must have been one of those long balls.
You were asking about why not just do it again on Tuesday if you're Aberdeen. Again, I would answer that with 2 words: public opinion. Jim Goodwin said the fans were mumping. I use his word, not mine. Mumping. Therefore you can't test their anger by doing it again.
I suppose the reason I ask the question is more to just to test the theory and how watertight it is, because football fans are fickle, and if he does do it again on, was it Wednesday night? Tuesday night, sorry, and it gets to 83 minutes again and Rangers are as incapable of Celtic as finding the back of the net, and then the ball falls to Ryan Jack instead of Callum McGregor and he puts it over the bar and Aberdeen get a point, the fans will enjoy the point, won't they?
Yeah.
So it's not my opinion that he should do it again. But I just wonder if in the back of Jim Goodwin's head, and this is where it's tough being a manager, because you've got your beliefs versus the fans' beliefs, and as bad as it was today, he could say it nearly worked. If getting a point is your aim.
For all that we can say Celtic are better than Rangers middle to front, the Aberdeen manager has said here today that when he went to Ibrox and played in an expansive way, he lost 4 and he felt it might have been 10.
So it might not be expansive then.
Yeah, but therefore he has a big dilemma. Tuesday.
I have absolutely no problem with Jim playing the way he's playing, right? Especially against Celtic and Rangers, because you're playing against players that are better than you. But if you're going to play in that style, you have got to have the complete plan of when we get the ball. It's okay saying defensively we look organised, we've got 5 at the back, 3 in front screening, it looks great. Okay, our goalkeeper's had a couple of good saves, which you're asking him to do, but you've got to have the full plan to say, right, okay, we can't just keep kicking the ball up the park and giving it to Rangers Celtic and invite them back on us. They've got to have a different plan of saying, what do we do when we get the ball? Because the 2 front men, especially second half of the day, were not involved whatsoever.
Do you think you can do both, Mark, effectively? It's easy in practice. Can you be as compact as Aberdeen were, as disciplined as they were, and still offer something? I know you're clearly trying to. I get what Gordon says, but if your main thought, if you're so hell-bent on keeping that distance between you and the guy to the right and the guy to the left, and your first thought is just getting back in, is it hard for players to do both?
No, I don't think they were that far away. The first half, where they kept 2 up the pitch against Starfelt and Carter Vickers, and you could quite clearly see the plan. When they won the ball back, to feed those 2 or to put it over the top and turn them. The difference is, in the second half, the quality when they got the ball just wasn't there. They gave Duke and Miovski nothing to feed off of, so it was just continually coming back.
I don't even feel like I ever remember it going near them that much though. I mean, what was the possession? Did we say 80
something like that?
So it's not that's not them getting the service, that's Aberdeen not having the ball.
Well, that's because they're up against a very good side like Celtic, who moved it from side to side. Now, will it be the same against Rangers? Well, Rangers have got better players than Aberdeen, but in my opinion, they don't move the ball as well as Celtic do. They don't keep possession as well as Celtic do, so that might be slightly different. But Jim said it, the quality when they get there or get up the pitch has to be much better than they showed this afternoon.
He's telling you that if he has to play at Pittodrie on Tuesday the way he had to play Rangers at Ibrox, then he'll be doing it against his better judgment. He'll be dragged there kicking and screaming because he knows what will happen to him.
Right, you can always get in touch on Twitter throughout the afternoon, and I love this message from Craigie McIntyre because I can just kind of imagine the scenario. He says, any chance of a shout out for Craig, Shannon and Lila sunning it up in Gran Canaria, listening to the show as I do week in, week out, much appreciated. Don't know if I'll manage to stay awake for Bowie later. Had a few sherbets earlier for the game. Happy boy. Tell you this, cash for kids weekend, I'll donate 20 quid. My missus says I'm embarrassing. Those 2 are on the balcony and she's giving him what for getting in touch, but we'll take Craig, we'll take your 20 quid because it's
we'll see how much else we can get out of him as the night goes on.
It's going up to 50 in a couple of minutes. Right, you ready? We've got one of these
Goal Flashes with Clyde Built Home Improvements.
Kilmarnock have pulled one back and we may well have a game on our hands. It's Hearts 2, Kilmarnock 1, and it is a goal for Ash Taylor. Of course, you sign him for his defensive responsibilities, but in the non-technical term, he is a big feral unit, and that is his 4th goal of the season. So he can cause disruption in the opposition box, and it's Hearts 2, Killie 1.
Well, I can just imagine the Hearts fans not taking that terribly well. They would have had the points in the bag. So well done, Kilmarnock.
Right, some of this hour's auction prizes need a bit of love, to be honest. They need some TLC. Let's get an update from Cassie.
Hello, yes, I am here, I'm live. I was not looking at my phone, scrolling through Instagram. Right, you leave me to it for ages, and to be honest, I've just been eating pizza and chilling here, but I've also been listening into all the bids that have been coming in, and it is looking pretty good, apart from one, but I'll get to that in a second. Lot number 13, hospitality for Celtic v Hearts, donated by Celtic FC. Right now we are sitting at £1,500 from Brian McManus. Lot number 14, signed and framed Gaza top, donated by John Fleming of Easy Peasy Prizes, is Gary Fleming from Fleming Masonry Limited at £300. Remember, we can come up on some of these very kind donations, but the whole reason we're here is to try and raise as much money as we can for Cash for Kids. Lot number 15, this is the interesting one. Hospitality for 2 at Dumbarton FC. We have no bids for that at the moment, so I'm going to go back down the same route that I went for Partick Thistle when this happened. Surely there is a Dumbarton FC fan out there that is willing to donate some money for Cash for Kids and win this fabulous prize. It includes a hospitality day for 2, any league game in the season. It includes 3-course lunch with a welcome drink. The chef, Joe Hogan, is getting fabulous reviews and his food is 5 stars at the moment. That's not by himself, that was people that have actually been eating these grub. And you'll be sitting in the directors area of the stand. You'll receive a team sheet at half time. There's a buffet as well, and they also have access to the pay bar in the Shiva suite. Now, once you leave there, you've got the beautiful scenery of Loch Lomond if you wanted to head there as well. Do you know what I mean? I was thinking about this myself. If I was going to go to a day out at Dumbarton FC, I might go and take a look at the surroundings too. But the point is, we've got no bids, so get calling us. Alright, I'll give you the number in just a second. Lot number 16, director's box for 2 at St Mirren FC, and that is going to Karen Poynton just now at £300, unless you want to come in and outbid. And we've also got an additional lot, Celtic versus St Johnstone Hospitality, donated by Jim Collins at PD Produce. You can enjoy hospitality in the number 7 lounge on Saturday 24th of December, 12pm kickoff, which includes breakfast and arrival, free bar, half-time snacks, free post-match bar as well, and lunch, and a match day gift. And the highest bidder for that is Lewis Gillen at £100. We can get more for that. We can get more money for that. Right, and also the number, I'm just seeing some bids coming in just now, 0141 565 2468. We welcome your calls.
Well, I almost choked on that last bit of Domino's Pizza because I do thank Lewis Gillen very much for his bid. But hospitality at Celtic against St Johnstone, you're getting breakfast on arrival, a free bar, half-time snacks, a free bar after the game, your lunch, a match day gift, and of course you're watching Celtic v St Johnstone in the nice seats as well. It's sitting at £100.
Yeah,
I thought there was a typo. We need a zero. We need a zero on the end of that, Mark Wilson. You'd give us a bit more for that.
100%. Aye.
How much are we getting?
150. Right.
Go to
110. 110.
Seriously, Christmas Eve as
if
well.
I wasn't, we'll be in here, won't we?
We'll all go money if we go.
Get the day off here and we'll go.
Like, seriously, that needs to go like skyrocket. That's crazy. We could not give it away for that. And I think the rest we can go up as well. St Mirren fans, thank you Karen Poynton. But this is director's box for 2 at St Mirren. So Karen Poynton's given us £300, 150 ahead. It's generous. It definitely can go upwards. I think the sign framed Gaza top as well, because I know the way that the Rangers fans feel about him. So Fleming Masonry, £300 at the moment. It's a brilliant frame. I said this earlier, right? I got a bit of a fright with these things earlier. You can be talking a couple £100 to get a proper frame put on the shirt. So what's the shirt worth on top of that? We're only at 300. That can go up. And the hospitality for 2 at Dumbarton, I think you're looking at this all wrong. You might be saying, well, I'm not a Dumbarton fan. Let's start thinking of it as a day out. You get to go along. It's a 3-course lunch, a welcome drink. You watch a bit of football. Might get a mad, energetic, action-packed game. You get your buffet, you get the director's box area and all the rest of it. So even if you treat that as a night, as a day out, it's worth £200, surely. And
they'll probably be there to win the league, because I told you pre-season they were entertaining.
Exactly.
That's another added advantage.
So even as a day out, you and your mate or whatever, you go along for a day out, you're not getting any change out of £200 for trying to do something like that. That's sitting at 0. So come on, 01415652468. Must improve these. We must. It's for the children. And I thank Ben Gallagher, because he's now up to 350 for the Celtic hospitality. But again, still, seriously, for what's on offer, that needs to go up.
That's the Christmas Eve present to end the lot, that one. All the hospitality, the food, the drinks.
That's a good one.
Back
hand over.
Back home on New Year's Eve.
Yeah. Imagine receiving that as a gift. Yeah.
Oh,
fantastic.
Could we day out as well?
The
day before Christmas, because
day before Christmas, everybody's a bit merry.
The number 7 restaurant
named
after Jimmy Johnson and Henrik Larsson, and your seats are right behind the goal at the top of the stand. It's a wonderful view behind the goal.
I mean, there's only a select portion of dafties who work on Christmas Eve, us being chief among them, but to everybody else, you'll be off work. Hopefully the shopping's done, you're heading out there, you're getting your breakfast, your lunch, the game, the hospitality.
Fantastic.
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
Back home, watch It's a Wonderful Life and go to your bed.
I think I might do that tonight,
Yeah.
I think that might be tonight's choice.
Yeah, I might go with you in that one.
Oh, it's strictly the final
if
tonight.
I can remember
I'm
the name
interested.
of it when I go home.
Yeah, it could be. I've tried to dip in and out. I'd love Actually this week. I've dabbled in Home Alone.
Good movie, yeah, like that.
I think it might be
You
time.
obviously have some form of control over the remote in your house.
It's a family decision.
Oh,
No,
I'll verify that.
Mrs. Duncan's a bigger Christmas film fan than me.
I haven't had the
I'm just happy to oblige.
decision go in my favour since the 14th of August 1971.
Yeah, but these are hard decisions. She's the Christmas film addict. I just quite like some of them, so I'm happy to go along with it. Anyway, got one of these. Maybe you could see this coming.
Goal flashes with Clyde Built Home Improvements.
Oh, good goal as well. Ali Crawford, great volley. St Johnstone have equalised. It was Considine that put it in the box. One of them, and it's then headed back out. Ali Crawford arrives. Thank you very much. Ross County down to 10 men, and that means St Johnstone have pulled level. Kind of volleys it as he's fallen over. It wasn't that long ago that he tucked you away on the golf course as well. Now he's volleying and equalisers. It's all good.
Yeah, well done to him.
You said that with all the sincerity.
Oh, I hate when his name gets mentioned. But that would be a good point for St Johnstone up there. They could go and win it now, obviously, with a one-man advantage. They would fancy themselves. They went into the break in good form. So, yes, things are good in Perth just now for Callum Davis.
I mean, I must admit, a friend of the show who's been on a few times, Paul McNeil, has tweeted the lots for this hour. Of course, one of them is the director's box tickets for a St Mirren game. And none other than Keith Lasley has gone and liked the tweet. Now he's going to be there. He'll be in the director's box. Now, worth bearing in mind, when he was just in case this influences you in any way, this is a guy whose nickname at Motherwell was the Housewives' favourite. You're getting to sit next to Keith Lasley in the director's box. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, he's a handsome wee boy.
Just in case that. That's a weird sentence. We've got another goal in Dingwall.
Goal flashes with Clyde Built Home Improvements.
Ali Crawford has got his second in the space of a minute, it seems like. The first one was a volley, a good save this time from Laidlaw, but it pops out to Crawford. And it was like that day on the golf course. Once he started rolling the putts in, just couldn't miss.
I actually says to him, look, Ali, I followed your career very closely, and I think that golf should have been the way to go for you. But he didn't take him up on that. But that's a good return. He's a very talented boy. He's one of these guys, a wee bit like myself, turn his hand to anything sport. He's just got that knack.
If I was Jack Baldwin at Ross County, I'd be quietly putting my jacket on and leaving the ground before Big Malky gets into the dressing room. Says red card has turned everything around.
Yeah, that's not great, is it? Some St Johnstone fans on the pitch. There we go.
Calm down.
Why? I've missed it 5 weeks.
Excitement.
10 minutes to go.
Bit of Christmas excitement robbed the football for 5 weeks, and I'll tell you what, if it stays that way, they go into 24 points, which would be right up there. They would leapfrog Livy, who of course haven't played today, and Hearts would be moving on to 24 as well, unless Kilmarnock can do something. But that's a fine return for a team who many people felt would go down. Remember that the rough ratio you're looking out for, a point a game generally keeps you up. 38 points, 38 games, you'll be there or thereabouts. After, what will this be? This will be St Johnstone's 17th game. They could go on to 24 points. They're in good nick.
My fears for Kilmarnock, I says it from day one,
don't score goals, do they?
Coming up for the Championship. Well, the centre half seems to be the guy that they go to now. Obviously Lafferty's missing, but I think that's a big task for Derek. Just to keep them in the Premier League this year would be a success for him. He's an experienced manager, great coaching staff there, but that's a big job. But plenty of football still to go. Listen, I may be eating humble pie in a minute because they might just get a point at Tynecastle, which would be terrific.
I'm amazed you've got the room after all that pizza.
I was going to say,
cookies that you
you
took
can't
away.
eat anything else.
No, if you noticed, it was one piece of pepperoni.
Pizza.
About 4 of the cookies.
It was 2.
And I saw you tuck one away to take home for
No,
later.
I've tucked 4 away, and I'm getting into the box here to tuck another 4 away. So they're quite nice. I quite enjoyed them.
So I can see.
Right, good. Hold on. We're getting bids here, which is good. Right, a bit of sense has been added to the Celtic St Johnstone hospitality on Christmas Eve. It's £1,100 now, Stephen Galloway. I'm at least comfortable. but I still think we can go more. Thank you to Stephen. And we've finally Dumbarton the day out, 400 quid, Jacqueline Robinson. There you go. Jacqueline knows when she's getting a good deal. What about the top one that we actually neglected it when I ran back through, because we had a good bid in, and it is a good bid from Brian McManus for £1,500. But again, right, I must admit, I think still when you take all of this, break all this down, this one's Celtic Hearts, which is a blockbuster fixture. It's on the 25th of February. That could be key in the title run-in. It's 2 seats in the director's box. You're also getting your signed Celtic shirt. Don't forget that as well. What's that worth? That's a good few £100. And a complimentary tour of Celtic Park for 4 people as well. Add a couple hundred quid on for that. So £1,500 from Brian McManus. Very nice bid. I still think that one we could maybe even get up. The Gaza top's gone up to 600. More like it. Let's keep going. 01415652468.
And if you're in the director's box, presumably you'll be in the boardroom at some stage. And while you're in the director's box during the game, you might have Sir Rod Stewart sitting in front of you. You'll have Robbie Nielsen sitting there after he's been sent off for complaining about the referee. So, you know, you get everything going for you that night. And you're right, Gordon, at the very outset when you said one of the outstanding fixtures. Other than playing Rangers, the Celtic fans like to play Hearts next.
And look, if it doesn't go to plan and Andy Halliday scores the winner, you'll be prime position to hurl abuse at him.
Yeah,
that's the way I would look at it. You know, every cloud.
Throw him a comb.
By that stage you'll be
hair gel.
Box,
Need hair gel for that. Oh, well, that'll be growing. That's getting watered every week.
I saw a picture the other day. Who was it? They're talking about this being the ultimate. Is it? Oh, it's one of the Arsenal players. Is it Rob Holden? Maybe it's Rob Holden, right? And there's like the before picture where he's looking thin, shall we say, and now it's proper, like flowing, like as in long, fully long. He's got it swept back. Aye. He looks like something from Malibu Beach.
No, that can't
Imagine
be
Halliday
real.
come in with that hairdo.
How long does that take?
That's thick.
I'm thinking of Turkey, not for a golf.
Imagine you.
On it, look at he's like something off of Venice Beach, California.
I cannot believe that. I'm thinking of Turkey,
like a lion's mane.
I'm coming back with the Nashers and the Perham. I'm walking right into that studio, a new guy.
Oh, we did say, was there a way back for Kilmarnock after they pulled it back to 2-1? There's a penalty, but it's for Hearts.
Shanklin.
Gabriel's just burst the bubble. He says that's a fake picture of Rob Holden. That's no use. That's ruined it for us. Never mind.
How does he know?
Well, he knows these things. He's into weird stuff.
He's on the pulse.
He's into really weird stuff. He'll know.
What sort of weird stuff is
he'll be in
into?
like a Rob Holden fan club or something that gets newsletters or some sort of like hair company that sends him stuff. I don't know. He's bizarre. Anyway, he
wears very odd trousers.
The penalty stands. So Shankland headed a long ball off the hand of Wright. Obviously did go to VAR, but it is a penalty, so it's another handball. I know that we get very into these things and where they're happening, where they're not happening, but I think we can agree the handball rule has been a bit of a bin fire recently, and Shankland takes it himself.
Goal flashes with Clyde Built Home Improvements,
and he scores. That should be that then. 3-1 to Hearts. Not too long to go.
No, that's that. Along the road for Derek McInnes to have a think about things now. The January window, he's got to try and get in players because now it's crisis time.
No, I agree with that.
Shankland's a safe old bet usually, isn't he?
From the spot. Aye. Very good signing that. I always thought it was a good signing for Hearts, Shankland. Natural goal scorer, but Hugh is right. Kilmarnock, when you look at the goals for after today's, they've only scored 13. Have they 13 in the league so far this season? That's never going to be anywhere near enough to keep you in this division.
That's Shankland up to 14 for the season.
Brilliant. Easily on
and
his
I think that
target
would be
of 20.
8 in his last 8 even.
Yeah.
I think it's round about that. So
8 and 8.
It's a good run, that, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, very good.
All the more reason to put in a bid for Celtic versus Hearts, the hospitality.
I
the
see what you've
director's
done
box,
there. I like that. Well done. Trying to make it all about the cash for kids, which it is on a day like this, and it's working a bit. You know, the Celtic Hearts, it's gone up to 1750. So
I mean,
good.
It's more like it. Yeah.
But you consider by February 25, The top two will have taken proper shape. We'll know whether it's still 9, better than 9, worse than 9, and February 25 you're getting into the business end.
It's always a bit of a mixed emotions for me when I do this, because I don't want Karen Poynton to be upset with me. I hope Karen in many ways does win, and I thank her for her bid. I still think that we can go more for the St Mirren Director's Box 4-2, sitting at £300. I think we could up that just ever so slightly, so let's see what we can do on that one. 01415652468. Get your bids in, please. Where are we then in terms of late drama? Is there going to be an unlikely equaliser for Ross County? 10 men at home?
No, I think St Johnstone would have done enough for that. I think there might be still something at Thistle. That's been the game of the day so far.
Yeah, could be thrills there. A winner somewhere. We'll get a goal before the end of the show, that's for sure. I'm confident. I probably think Dingwall. I think St Johnstone will score again. Ali Crawford hat-trick.
That's not going to be a winner then as such, is it?
Well, hat-trick, sorry, my apologies. Hat-trick.
It's interesting at the bottom, because it's a good day if you're Dundee United, because at the moment you're seeing Kilmarnock lose, you're seeing Ross County lose. Now above that, Gordon, I must admit, has to be said, Motherwell are right in there. No game today. And you look at the teams that you would then hope would be near you. Maybe St Johnstone would be one. They're going to go on to 24 points today. And to go off on a slight tangent, I think Motherwell are meant to play at home on Friday. Looking at that flooding in the stand, that might
Who they got on Friday?
That might not be automatic if you look at those
videos. Yeah, the pictures weren't good, were they?
I don't know if you've seen them, that Alan Burrows has tweeted there's a lot of flooding damage in the stadium, so it's meant to be Kelly actually, so it would have been a huge game at the bottom.
You as a local taxpayer, should you not be round there with a mop lending a hand?
Well, unfortunately I had to come in here. I caught up with the pictures as I come in, but Alan knows my number. If he certainly needs a hand, I'm just 2 minutes round the corner.
Of every human I know, and I've always wanted just to count this up, how many human beings do you think you actually know? It must be hundreds. I don't think I know anyone who's as unlikely to go and help out as you.
No,
and I mean that. No,
unless you were getting paid.
Well, that's my point. That's not helping then, is it? That's even just being paid to be there.
Look, I'm a local lad. I love my club. I'm prepared to go beyond to help.
He doesn't do anything for nothing. I've asked him for a lift into the city centre.
You getting one? He's getting a lift.
He's wanting something in return.
Are we allowed to reveal what that is, do you think?
Yeah,
I don't see why not. Let's just. Mark Wilson wants a lift into town after the game, after the show tonight, because he's going on his fourth Christmas night out, and Gordon DL is willing to take him, but only if Mark Wilson gives him his car for a week whilst Mark Wilson's on whilst Gordon DL's recovering from your knee operation that's coming up.
I need an automatic.
So you need an automatic. So you're getting Mark Wilson to give you his car for a week, so that you can recover and drive the automatic. And you actually stood there in this studio and you wrote down a handwritten contract and made Mark Wilson sign it.
Yeah, the contract states that they've got to be a full tank of petrol in the car.
You need to return it full then.
No,
that's how it works at any higher place. Full to full policy.
Listen,
and
fully
validated. Having witnessed this whole business, I would say that if I were Josip Juranovic, I would hire the Dazzler as my agent and take care of my immediate future after the World Cup.
I had him, Hugh. He's just desperate. He's desperate to get in. I had to
walk over and see what was written on this bit of paper.
That is odd seeing him write, Hugh. That's the first time I've seen him write anything in this studio, and it was a contract to get
a short, sharp,
to the point. Cars, no.
Drove a hard bargain. You were forced to sign it,
and guaranteed this lift that he's given me, he won't even drop me at the place. He'll drop me at traffic lights and
100%.
And say, right, jump out, I need to go. See, the last time he dropped me off, I jumped out, you were still driving as I was stepping out the car. It doesn't even stop. You nearly ran over my foot.
Well, you've got to be grateful that I'm getting out of my way. It's Christmas. I'm doing my very best. I've got the festive feelings. I'm taking you in town. I'm going to drop you off and you can have a good night.
Before we get the full-time whistles here, just because I'm going to need to give you a last nudge on these prizes, because they close in 9 minutes at 5 o'clock. Hospitality for Celtic Hearts, $2,500. Erwin and Heather Watt, thank you. That one does include the signed shirt by the Celtic squad and the tour for 4 people. The hospitality at the St Johnstone game next week is at $1,200. Now yes, that one doesn't include the signed shirt, but I still think, that's half as much. So I think we can maybe improve that one in the next few minutes. Director's box for 2 at St Mirren. I think Karen Poynton's getting a steal at £300. It's for the kids, come on. And Jacqueline Robinson, $400 for the Dumbarton prize. The signed Gaza top is $600. So if you want to bid on any of them, you've only got 8 minutes. 0141 565 2468. Full-time Tynecastle, Fraser.
Yeah, full-time Hearts 3, Kilmarnock 1. And actually an enjoyable game to watch. A deserved win for Hearts on top for most of the game. 2 up at the break with Janelli and Shanklin, but they lost their way midway through the second half, and Kelly had a good spell and got back into it with a Taylor goal, but Lawrence Shanklin settled it with a late penalty. Home side deservedly 2 up at the break. Janelli open on 19 minutes. Joe Wright made a mess of a clearing header. He's headed up into the air, and as the ball bounced into space, Janelli was quickly onto the ball using his pace. He waited slowly for the ball to come down, and he got his foot over the ball and shot low past Walker into the net. 2-0 in 29 minutes. Robert Snodgrass, a beautifully flighted free kick from the corner of the box to the back post, and Lon Shanklin had lost his marker, and a good downward header by the striker into the net. Could be more at the break. Cochrane goal flagged for offside. Janelli and Halliday had good efforts, and just towards the break, Donnelly and Polworth came close for Kelly, but there's no surprise that Derek McInnes made a couple of changes because they really weren't in the game, and they brought in Doyle and Koscielny for Polworth and McInroy, but still Hearts on top. It took a brilliant save at full stretch by Sam Walker, the Kelly goalkeeper, to keep it at 2. It was Andy Halliday, the first time right foot curling shot with pace. It was heading to the top corner until the keeper got his touch. Kelly then almost got one back. Dan Armstrong with an in-swinger into the 6-yard box. It bounced. The header by Joe Wright, really good save by Gordon to his right, and somehow Taylor couldn't turn the rebound into the back of the net. Then lovely play with Barry Mackay, as he often does. Drifts inside, a couple of 1-2s. His pass fell to Michael Smith, but the right wing back side foot shot beat Walker, but also beat the post, was inches wide. A third would have ended Kelly as a threat, but still had that occasional chance, or still looked dangerous. You could feel a goal might be coming. Power had Gordon scrambling to stop his shot. It was just inches wide. Dodge then shot over from 12 yards. In 73 minutes, Kelly did get one back. Again, another lovely in-swinging Dan Armstrong free kick from the right, and Nash Taylor arrived at the back post to side foot a volley past Gordon into the net. It was game on. Hearts fans on edge, really quite silent as the game went end to end. Hearts looking for that goal to put the game to bed. Kelly looking for the equaliser, but it was Hearts that got the goal in 86 minutes. It looked a bit harsh to me. It was a long Kingsley free kick as Shanklin and Wright jumped for the ball. Shanklin headed the ball down. It hit Wright on the arm, but he didn't know where his arm was, and he was jumping for the ball again. Really looked very harsh, but VAR confirmed Willie Collins' decision to give the penalty, and up steps Shanklin, cool as you like, down the middle, second of the game and 14th goal of the season, which is a good return. Hearts fans will go home happy. Good performance, 3 points, 3 goals after a 5-week break. You can't ask for much more. Full time at Tynecastle. Hearts 3, Kilmarnock 1.
The Christmas song's on as well. Let's go to Dingwall. It's finished there, Gabriel.
Yes, it has, and it's full-time. Ross County 1, St Johnstone 2. What a turnaround here in Dingwall, inspired by Ali Crawford, whose 60-second brace turned this game on its head. The Saints making the one-man advantage count after Jack Baldwin's red card. You might be able to hear some singing in the background. That is the Perth Loyal. About 150 fans just to the left of me still celebrating. A few of them were on the pitch not too long ago. What a result for them. Well, Jordan White's well-taken 22nd minute header had given the hosts the lead, and it was the difference between the two sides for the majority of the game. It was against the run of play early on, and it was an easy header for him in the end. Bread and butter for the big man, got in between his centre-halves, and a great cross ball into the box by Jan Dander was duly converted. It should have been 5 minutes for the interval. Kazim Alogbe receiving the ball on the edge of the box. He took it past his man, but pulled his finish past the post. He had to score. Saints did have some chances in the first half too, most of them falling to Stevie May. The best chance came just on the stroke of half time. He forced a great save from Ross Laidlaw, headed it into the ground. Laidlaw tipped it around the post. So at half time, County were leading. The game changed after an hour though. Staggy skipper Jake Baldwin rightly receiving a red card. He took the ball from the keeper whilst under pressure about 25 yards out. Took a heavy touch back towards goal. Stevie May nipped in. Baldwin pulled him back straight away and he had to be sent for an early bath. Graham Carey stood over the free kick and took a wicked strike off the outside of the left post. And that's when the Saints started to turn the screw. Montgomery flicked over. They had several block shots from outside the box and the match was eventually changed by the substitute, Ali Crawford. In the 77th minute, Andy Considine overlapped from centre half. He put the ball in the box. It wasn't cleared properly and it was a cracking volley from Ali Crawford, striking it through players as he was falling over. And 1 minute later, he'd done it again. County gave the ball away carelessly from kick-off. Theo Bair was slipped in, forced a good save from Laidlaw, but it came back into Crawford's path, who followed it in. Fans are on the pitch celebrating. That is what it's all about. St Johnstone are unbeaten in 6. They're up to 5th place. County stay down in 10th. Football is back full time here in Dingwall. Ross County 1, St Johnstone 2.
And in our featured championship game, it's all done. Partick Thistle, Ayr United. Roger Hannah.
There it is, just seconds ago. Partick Thistle 3, Ayr United 2. Great goals, terrific drama and a fair bit of controversy as well at Firhill this afternoon, Gordon. The leaders lose and the Jags go within 2 points of the playoffs after a roller coaster game. Ayr took the lead after 9 minutes. A terrific solo run and shot by the championship's top scorer, Dipo Akinyemi, cutting in off the left, getting onto his right foot and lashing a shot high past Jamie Sneddon for his 15th of the season. But the Jags were level in 21 minutes. Kel Turner's corner, Harry Milne's header, easy 1-1 from a set piece, and Milne again a central figure in stoppage time at the end of the first half as the Jags took the lead for the first time. Great play by Stephen Lawless down the right hand side. He got to the byline, he stood up across to the back post. Milne came charging in, his header looked to have crossed the line. Ayr claiming it hit Brian Graham on the line, who was in an offside position. The referee and the linesman spoke. Goal was given. Ayr unhappy. Some of their coaching staff on the pitch had the break to confront the officials, but the goal stood. Ayr made a change at the break. Off went Sam Ashford. On came Logan Chalmers. Within 90 seconds the substitute had levelled at 2-2. He beat 2 defenders out in the right with 2 lovely step overs and tricks. Looked up and curled a left foot shot from the corner of the box high past Sneddon into the opposite top corner for one of the goals of the season. But 2-2 became 3-2 for the Jags after 56 minutes. Turner again making progress down the left. Decent cross and a lovely half volley finish by Stephen Lawless for 3-2. After that it was all Ayr. They did lose Ben Dempsey to a nasty looking injury after a bad challenge by Darren Brownlee, which earned a yellow card. It was in a double save by Sneddon to deny Josh Mullen and Ayr sub Brad Young. Ayr threw everything at it in stoppage time. They just couldn't find another way past Sneddon for a third equaliser. Terrific game. The Jags are closer to the playoffs. Partick Thistle 3, Ayr United 2.
1 minute to go, quickly, less than a minute. If you want the Hospitality Celtic Hearts or the Celtic St Johnstone, the Director's Box at St Mirren, the Hospitality at Dumbarton, or the signed and framed Gaza Top, 30 seconds, go. 0141 565 2468. That and the open line. What did you make of Celtic's trip to Aberdeen and anything else is next.
Clyde One's Super Scoreboard Podcast with Luker's Jaguar, the new name for Taggarts. The same friendly faces and great service with a new name above the door.